Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me finish setting up this room real quick and then we can get started. Sorry, I'm starting a little late because I was taking some trades right now. I took a couple scalps. I took 2 scalps this morning, both full TP. So I was like kind of focused on those trades before going on this this live session. So let me just get this room set up real quick and then we should be good to go. So I'll show you my profits right now as well. Once I'm done, setting all of this up right here. So I think this is getting set up. All this is getting set up. I'm gonna get the social media ready for the post. I did take this trade right here. So I did hit full TP off this. I took 2 entries off the 3-minute right here. So I'll show you the profits for that shortly. Just give me 1 second. All right, perfect. Let me just finish getting, I don't know why this happens with this. 23rd. It's weird. It's weird. When I try to update the YouTube channel, it doesn't update properly. Hopefully YouTube's not having issues today like it's had before. All right, I'm just letting this YouTube thing update and then we should be good. All right, so that's done updating. Make sure this is good. Stay on the page. Whenever I go off the YouTube page, that's when it kind of screws up a bit. All right, so I think this should be good. Let me check. All right, cool. Morning, Kushi. Morning, Peter. Morning, John. Morning, Jaime. Morning, Roland. Morning, everybody. So yeah, I was just saying that I took, well, let me send this link out real quick because I know a lot of people are trying to get into this link. So let me send this link real quick, guys, and then we can get started. I'll show you which profits I took this morning. So let me just get this over to you guys and I will send the Zoom link. Just give me 1 second, guys. I got a lot of links to post right now. So let's see, we got that there. There. I'll just pin this so that you guys can actually see it. I feel like a lot of people miss the live sessions because they don't notice that I posted the link. So let me just pin these there so you guys can actually be aware that we're live. All right, we're good. So I posted the link right there. I'll send a Zoom link shortly. Give me 1 second, guys. A couple other places I got to post the link up. Facebook, Instagram, and the email list. So real quick. So that's good. All right, one last place is going to be the, damn, we got that thing pushed. I should just held on to it. I took 2 buys right there and I hit full TP already. They're like small. They're small TPs, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I'll show you my profits right now, guys. Hey, morning, Funke. Morning, Billy. Morning, Tam. Morning, Billy Smith. Morning, Matt. Morning, everybody. Let me just send this link out real quick to the Instagram, and then we should be good to go, guys. So I'll send you my profits from this morning as well. Damn, I should have just held on to it. That's a huge push up. It's all good. We're gonna catch some more right now. No biggie. And I'll show you guys a little trick that I figured out to identify the confluence because I kind of know where to trade now with my bias. So, oops, wrong Instagram. Yeah, because if you guys can see, I have like no losses this week. I've been using this bias and it's been amazing, guys. It's been crazy, honestly. Let me just finish loading this real quick. Swipe up. Yeah, 1 second, Funky. I'm still posting the links up to everything else. So I will get that Zoom link shortly. Give me 1 second. All right. Morning, Patricia. Morning, everybody. So let me get the Zoom link real quick. to you guys, and then I will show you guys the trades that I took this this morning. All right, so this will zoom in for you guys there. All right, so what I was just saying right now for these, let me just let everybody in the Zoom real quick because it's gonna lag my screen if people keep joining. So let me just let everybody into the room. Everybody real quick. All right, cool. All right, man. So we're good. We're good. Let's see. I'm just gonna let everybody else in. All right, cool. Morning, Angela. Morning, everybody. So let me just finish letting everybody into the room. Looks like Zoom is still admitting everyone. All right, perfect. Room's trying to fill up. So what I was just saying, guys, is I took this scalp right here. I took this 10-minute scalp, but I took it on the 3-minute. I took this right here. There was like 2 entries that were available right here, which I hit full TP. So as you can see right here, these are the 2 trades that I took. I made, what did I do? So I actually made a couple. Oh yeah, actually these 2 right here. So I made 580 off that one trade. So one of these right here. And then I took a second one where I made another 530. So I made about 1,000, a little over 1,000 total this morning to kick off the trading morning. But as you guys can see from here, I could have held on to it a little longer. I probably would have paid out a whole lot more, but I'm not complaining. It's all right because profit's profit. And, you know, whether I'm making 1,000, whether I'm making a couple thousand, it's good. And these are my profits for the, sorry, let me just grab this real quick. These are my profits for the week so far. So you can see that we have no losses this week so far, right? From Monday up until now. So from the 22nd up till the 23rd, this is all my profit here. This is my profit from last week until this week. So I'm up almost at 10,000. So let's see if we just add this up, 405 plus 345 plus 895. Shit, my bad. All these people joining in. All right, so what I was saying was 405 plus 345. Sorry, guys. I'll add this up later because people keep trying to join the room. So every time someone joins, it just freezes up the screen. All right, every second someone's still joining. All right, so I think people are done joining. All right, so never mind, I take that back. There's another person joining. All right, so 405 plus 345 plus 895 plus 845 plus 355 plus 180 plus 1,155 plus 1,405 plus 580 plus 530. So for this week so far, I'm up 6,695. This is including like the end of last week because I got my payout or whatever, or, you know, the reset. So, I mean, that's not bad for the week so far, just off that one account. Cause I have multiple accounts. I have the 100K funded, and then that's the 200K funded, or not funded, the 200K challenge that's on its way to verification. I'm almost done with that. What do I have to check right now? Sorry guys, I need to check something. Go back to the charts. So I'm still looking for some scalps here, but it is 6, you know, it's still early. So we're waiting for some trades to appear. There's nothing available right now. I'm still looking at US 30. I'm also looking at the 3-minute now. So I'll be focused on the 3-minute as well, guys. We'll call some 3-minute trades. And the bias that I was talking about is I bunch these together right here. So if the DAX is bullish, S&P is bullish, and US 30 is bullish, where we get a buy signal on the 3-minute, that's where I just take, I go for like bullish bias, and I just take the bias. Because obviously right here, I took these 2 buys right here. I took this one right here, even though it was an invalid signal. I took this one right here. I had full TP off that. And I also took this one right here, which I got full TP off that as well. And that's why I have, and that's why I got these 2 wins right here for 580 and 530, because I caught both of these 2 scalps right here. So that's like one confluence that I use for my bias when determining, you know, which direction to trade US 30. And it's worked very good for me for the past 2 weeks. That's why we've had, you know, no losses this week since Monday. So, and it's only Tuesday, so it's been great so far. So anyways, we'll be looking for some trades here for US 30. Let me see if there's anything else here for the most part. I'll just get through these real quick to see if there was any entries. I don't think there was really much. So there's new zones here. So let me go back to US 30 real quick. I'll keep watching US 30 for a second just to see if anything happens or appears. Let me see if there was any news as well this morning. I think the Fed is speaking this morning, right? Yeah, he's speaking at 9 o'clock. So we got about 3 hours or 2 hours to mess around on the market before Jay Powell speaks. So hopefully we could hop into some scalps before he speaks. And then when he's done speaking, maybe we could hop into some other trades, but we're going to start to be careful once we get closer to his speech, because obviously Jay Powell's for the US Treasury, and that's going to affect the market, obviously directly. So yeah, let me check my account real quick. I just got to make some changes. I got to take some accounts off my copier. Man, freaking MT4 is frozen again. All right. Okay, wrong account. Let me check. All right, I just need one more profit on this one account to take it off my copier. I'm about to pass my my mom's verification. she's like $600 away from passing. So I just need to take one more scalp for her, and she'll have a funded account. So let me just check real quick. All right, cool. So no entries available right now. Yeah, nothing around here at all. So let me check the chat real quick, see who's here. Morning, Trell. Morning, Short Scene. Morning, Hugo. How's it going? Morning, John. Hey, Angela. Angela said, hey, Shawn, I was on that scalp trade on US 32, got out right before market open. Not sure if market was going to reverse on open. Do you increase your stop loss to account for that or just risk it? I just risked it, Angela. I left my stop loss in the same place. I deleted it already, I think, right? Let me just back up a little bit. Yeah, so right here, I left my stop loss in that same place. And I was just gonna let it either play out or actually the stop loss is down here, so it was kind of far off. Because if you're using Josh's 3-minute strategy, he uses 25 to 50, so the stop loss is pretty wide out. I was a little worried too when market opened right here because it started to pull back a little bit, but then I matched it up with the DAX and I matched it up with S&P, and they were both bullish. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna let it run. So I let it run, and then it broke right through the TP, and then I ended up closing it. So it played out perfectly. I mean, I made some crazy profits off of that. Like I usually don't take risks like that in the morning, but I'm so confident this week. Like if you guys sat in yesterday, like dude, if you guys saw everyone's profits from yesterday, it's like this week's gonna be hot because like oh my god, like Mondra over here, he just signed up for K2. Dude made 1,600. He was like, hi Shawn, so happy to be a member of K2. Caught a couple of scalps last night early morning. So dude, like check this out. He took all these trades on his own. I didn't call any of these trades, and he made 1,600 last night. CSUK over here made about 1,000 last night trading GJ and US 30. Trell over here made 128 last night. Tam over here made 236. Like you can see, everyone has been killing it, guys. So if everyone's doing really well, right here, obviously everyone's killing it. If everyone's doing this well on their own, like just copying their own trades or taking their own trades, it just shows that the market is a perfect market this week. So that's why I was really confident this morning. I took trades before market open. I usually don't do that unless I'm like very, very positive that it's going to go my direction. Like check out CSUK right here. Last night, CSUK made 2,854, and these are all of his own trades. Obviously he had one loss there. If he avoided that, he'd be in profit like almost well over 4,000, or yeah, definitely well over 4,000, because you just add that to whatever profit he had for the day. Same with Rick here. Rick just signed up with K2 like last week or 2 weeks ago, and this dude's locking like over 1,000 every single day. So, and here's Luke over here. He was like, God is greatest, K2's real MVP. Like Luke was killing himself too. Like everyone's been doing like really, really well. So I think this week's going to continue to be great. That doesn't mean you guys should over leverage. Just be more active with your trades and pay attention to all the calls that I make, because when I'm making these calls, I'm going to be quick, especially on the 3-minute over here, because the 3-minute moves really, really fast. So what I'm waiting for here is, since we have a bullish bias, I want a sell signal to come, but I'm not going to take that sell. I'm going to wait for the buy signal. And then I'm going to hop into that because, you know, just looking at the DAX here and S&P, or actually we might be switching. So we'll see how these move. Like before I enter a buy or a sell, I'm going to make sure that this is going to be bullish. Like if this starts to drop right here, then I'm going to switch to a bearish bias. If that becomes the case, then if we get a sell, I'm going to take a sell. And then we'll see, you know, we'll see how that plays out. So yeah, guys, just pay attention because this is going to be I think this is going to be a pretty quick trading session going back and forth because, you know, just like I mentioned earlier, the Fed's going to speak at 9. So we have like about 2 hours to get in as many scalps as possible before we have to like chill out until, you know, Jay Powell's done speaking. And by that point, we're probably not going to be having more trades for the rest of the New York session because he's going to talk for like maybe 1 or 2 hours. So yeah, Andrea, how's it going? Glad to have you back, Andrea. It's been a while. I did see your message, so I'll respond to you later, Andrea. You know, I did see what you said, so I'll definitely respond to you later. I'm just busy with the live session right now, but definitely glad to have you back, Andrea. Nice. Herb's asking how much to join. So there's two different packages that you can sign up for, Herb. So like depending if you want the signals, you go to the website k2trades.com right here, and you can click on the signals or the strategy course. If you want access to the Zoom room where you could have real-time trades and just follow me real time, you can just get the signals if you want. If you want to learn this actual strategy here, the strategy that we're applying, and the same strategy that you know, everyone's using to lock in like all these profits here, like Mandra over here, he took these trades on his own. If you want to do that and have these indicators and stuff, then just click on K2 strategy course right here, and that's when you'll have access to that. So there's two options here depending on which one you're looking for. If you just want access to the trades real time, you can click on signals only. If you want access to the actual strategy, you can click on K2 strategy course right here, and you'll see the pricing options for both when you click on either one. So here, let's see. Neptune said, "Hey Shawn, will you point out the daily entry for premium members today, please?" Well, I only point it out if I'm comfortable about it, Neptune. If I'm not comfortable about it, I don't call it. That's why I didn't call it yesterday, because I didn't think US 30 was going to be bullish. If it does look good, then yeah, I'll call it out. But if it doesn't look good, then I'm not going to call it out. Like for example, if we have a sell right here, I'm not going to call it because everything's bullish. It's going to be a bad trade. So if I do see something that's good, then I'll call it. You know, I only call good trades. I don't call trades that are maybes. I only call trades if I know they're going to win. So if I do see that it is a good trade on the 10-minute or, you know, for the daily entry, I'll let you guys know. All right, so let me check what else we got going on over here. Let's see. I'm just waiting for a signal here on the 3-minute so I can take this. We're gonna it's gonna be a buy that we're gonna take because just looking at the DAX and S&P, they're both bullish right now. So we're not gonna take any sells. We have a bullish bias for this morning. Well, for now at least. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Morning Ed? I haven't seen you in a while, bro. You must have been busy with your internship, huh? Over at I still gotta go get it. Yeah, I gotta order a coffee table and an entertainment desk from you over at Wayfair. I need to check out that website. But yeah, so we do have a pending sell right here. If this closes, it's kind of tricky. I'm probably not going to take it. I'll probably wait for it. If you guys want to take it, I'll give it to you guys. So this is closing in about 20 seconds. This is going to be at your risk trade, guys. I'm not going to take this trade myself. So if you guys do want to take it, you guys can, but I'm not going to take it because I do have a bullish bias for US 30. Oh, and there it goes. It disappears. So we'll see how this closes right here. Yeah, there's no signal. It's going to be bullish. So, man, I'm like tempted to just hop in. Nah, that's going to be a horrible idea. I know if I do that, it's not going to play out right. All right, so I'm going to send alert right here as well. Let me check the zones here for these 10-minute scalps. All right, cool. So I'm just waiting for price. Like, I'm looking for different confluences. So I'm looking for entries on the 10-minute. And if they line up with the entries on the 3-minute, then, you know, of course it's going to be a good entry. So it's pretty much what we're looking for over here. Ed's asking, Shawn, have you considered creating a template for your long short position instead of typing it all the time? Not really. It's not that hard, dude. You just like a lot of people ask me about that all the time. If I click long here, it's not that hard to just type in, or it's already set at 50. But if you were to type in 25, it's not really a big deal. I can do it pretty quickly. And I like actually typing it in because it keeps me engaged, right? If you have a template that's already set, then you're probably going to mistype it, or you're going to misplace it sometimes. Like for example, if you have a template that's 50-50 and you're trying to go to 25-50 in between, because we're going between charts. If we're on the 3-minute, we're going 25-50. If we're going on the 10-minute, it's 50-50. If we're going on the daily, it's going to be 1500, right? So if I go back and forth, it's not going to make sense for me to do that unless I'm only using like one TP stop loss each time. Nice. Hugo said IG is changing. Let me check real quick. It's probably be bullish, right? So 66% short. Yeah, it was like 70 earlier. So like it looks like people are getting stopped out because whoever's short right here, as price continues to push up higher and higher, people are getting stopped out of the trade. And I wish I held on to this because I was in this trade from like way down here. I was in this trade from like way over here, and I could have been up like nearly 900 pips. But who cares? It's all good. I'm just waiting for another entry here. So it's a game of patience, guys. This is why you don't enter the trade right now, because you see how this wick is coming down? You would be in some drawdown if you were to just hop in the trade, right then and there. So, yeah, I mean, that's it for that. Let me check the Forex trades real quick. There was a couple trades here that I marked up. So everything pretty much with the flag like that I marked up right here. I was going to call these trades last night, but the market was kind of choppy. So I didn't call them. Unfortunately, they would have all hit TP if that was the case. There's a couple other trades here that I was looking at. But, like I said, with Federal POW speaking, it's going to be a little difficult. So I think for the Forex pairs as well, I'll probably be more focused on some scalps instead of going for these bigger moves off the 4-hour guys. So I'll go back and forth between those as well to see if I see any entries, because it's a heavy news week. If you guys look at the news week this week, Powell's speaking like every day. He spoke yesterday at 6 a.m. He's speaking today at 9. He's speaking again tomorrow, tomorrow at 7. So he's speaking every day this week, and it just makes it a risky market for us to really hold trades for intraday or swing trading, because price can easily reverse on us at any time. So Manifest, I already answered you. Check your email. Yeah, Manifest, check your email. Yeah, Manifest, I'm not sure if you checked my response, but I did respond to your email. Unfortunately, it's going to be a hard no for me. Like, guys, don't ask me for money, guys. If you guys ask me for money, that's like total disrespect. And like, I'm here teaching you guys how to make money, but if you guys are going to ask me for money directly, I'm not going to give it to you. And if I don't know you, I'm definitely not going to give it to you. So like, don't just come out of the blue and be like, oh, can I have $50? It's not going to happen. All right. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. What I was looking at over here, let's see. Yeah, what was I looking at over here real quick? Yeah, Manifest, I just responded to you, dude. Manifest, just stop asking, bro. Yeah, Hamizan, morning. Yeah, Manifest, I responded to your email already, so if you want to go look at it, I mean, pull up your email. But yeah, it's not gonna happen, bro. Sorry, but it's not gonna happen because you can earn it. You're not gonna, like, nothing in life is gonna be given to you, bro. You gotta earn everything. Hey, Emmanuel, morning. All right, man, we're still waiting for this thing to come up right here. This thing is not playing out. Like, I'm waiting for this to. I was hoping this was gonna come down and test the structure right here so we can take a buy, but unfortunately, it just broke right above. So we're We're waiting over here real quick. Funky said self. I need a Birkin, Shawn. Here, let me see. So I'm waiting for this. Manifest, just stop begging. I'm removing you from the I'm removing you from the group, Manifest, because you're just gonna keep, like, bro, your begging isn't making anything better for you. You're making it worse. Cause I don't even know you, bro. Like, you can't just message me and be like, hey, can I have 50 bucks? Like, this is gonna change my life, 50 bucks. 50 bucks isn't gonna change your life, bro. Like, literally 50 bucks doesn't do anything. Here, I'm just gonna take you off, bro. Let me see. You're just all right. So I took you off. But yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, like, guys, if you guys think 50 bucks is gonna change your life, it's really not gonna change your life. Like, you have to actually work for like what you want. You can't just get 50 bucks and think, oh, my life's gonna change. Bro, if you can't trade like 10 bucks, you can't trade 50 bucks, you can't trade 100 bucks. It's not gonna make a difference if you guys don't know what you're doing. Like, if I give you 50 bucks to trade and you lose it all, what'd you learn from that? Nothing. You're better off learning and actually getting this stuff down than just, asking for stuff. I just saw Rick's message. Rick's like, hey, Shawn, can you hook me up to Tesla? Anyways, guys, back to what we were looking at over here. Yeah, I'm still waiting for these trades to set up. So there's nothing here. I'll go over to the other indices real quick. So here's the Aussie 200. All right, so I was just looking at this right here. I don't think there was any entries that were available for this very recently. So let me just mark this up real quick, see what's good with this one. Yeah, so it doesn't look like there's anything really good here. Oh my gosh, dude. Manifest, bro. I just banned you. Why do you keep coming back? Dude, I'm not going to give you 50 bucks, bro. Like, go ask somebody else. Let me see if I could... There we go. I already reported him. So, guys, if you see Manifest rejoin this... If you see Manifest rejoin the chat, if you guys can ban him, because he's going to get in the way of your trade. So if he keeps bothering me, I'm not going to be able to call these trades for you. It's like, dude, he just admitted to himself in the chat. He's like, I don't want to trade. I just want 50 bucks. Like, bro, why are you asking me then? Go ask somebody else, or I don't know. Like, if you don't want to trade, I don't know why you're in this room. If you're just asking for money, I don't understand that at all. Like, everyone here is trying to make money from trading, not from just begging for 50 bucks. Oh my God. All right, guys, just here, Manifest, just stop coming in the room, bro. You're just... All right, guys, if you guys ever see Manifest in the room, just, if you guys could report him. If you guys don't report him, I'm not going to call trades for you guys because he's just going to keep bothering us. So just, yeah, whenever you guys get a chance, if you see him post another thing in the chat, just ban him or report him. Peter report him for child abuse. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go back to US 30 real quick. And US 30 is so far up. So I'm gonna set another alert here for US 30. All right, cool. So this looks good for the most part off of this right here. So we're just waiting for this to come down, guys. So this is basically what we're waiting for. Like I mentioned, this is a game of patience. There's no point in entering the trade up here because it's so high up. We're waiting for price to come back down from this point right here. rejection right here so that I can catch it for a buy in this direction up here. So this is what we're waiting for right here. We're waiting for price to come back down and then have a wick rejection off the pivot and structure. This is basically what we're looking for right here. So this is a perfect entry right over here. And if I just replay it to here real quick. Yeah, so looking at this right here, you can see that this is the strategy that we're applying. We're looking for this same setup right here. So for right here, we're going to use the K² Snipe Strategy. And first, we just want to confirm wick rejection off K² pivots, which is any pivot, to confirm wick rejection off K² star zone. And lastly, confirm wick rejection off K² pivot does not touch candle body. So it's really simple, guys. This is the strategy that we're looking for here. We're looking for a wick rejection off the K² pivots, which would be this green pivot right here. Wick rejection off the K² SR zone, which would be this zone right here. And lastly, the wick rejection off the pivot doesn't touch the body. So with that said, we would enter for a long position for 50 pips. We let this run from this point. And there you go, full TP, right? So this is exactly what we're waiting for to replay over here with current price. So this is what we're, this is what we're waiting for over here. We're waiting for this to come down, reject off this point right here, and provide for another buy entry like it did over here. And this is how I locked in the profits this morning. So if you guys saw my profits from this morning, this is how I locked in these two profits right here. So you can see the date is March 23rd. March 23rd. These were like 30 minutes apart or 20 minutes apart. I made 580 off the first one and then 530 off the other one. What I did was, so I technically set it up with this trade right here and I had a bullish bias, but then I entered it on the 3 minute over here when I saw some buy signals right here. I took it for a half profit, which is 25 pips. And then I took another one right over here for another 25 pips as well. So this is pretty much what we're waiting for, guys. We're either looking for some entries off the 3 minute or we're looking for some entries off the 10 minute. So that's pretty much all that we're looking for here. And that's pretty much it. Like that's literally all that we're looking for here for these entries. So yeah, with that said, that's pretty much, when we see that, I set an alert there and that we're going to take that trade. Vice versa, I have alerts set here for the 3 minute as well. So if we do get a buy signal on the 3 minute, we'll take a buy off that as well. So, it's just a game of patience, guys. It's like there's nothing for us to really take right now until we have that entry. So we will definitely be looking for that, once it appears. So that's why we're just sitting on our hands right now, because there's no point in entering a buy right now. If you enter a buy right now, you're going to be in some serious drawdown at this point. But I do have the alerts set up. So once the alerts do come up, we will we'll be ready to take this trade. So all right, guys, so let me go back to the chat real quick. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks everybody for everything that you guys are doing to pretty much handle the chat. But yeah, no, definitely, guys. Yeah, so let's continue watching these charts, and then we'll continue to look for these scalps. So this is it for US 30 right now. Let's check the other indices real quick. So I like to look to see if all the indices are moving in the same direction. So, well, the main indices that mirror US 30, which would be the DAX 30 and the S&P. So if these are both bullish, you can see the S&P super bullish, right? DAX super bullish. So if they're both bullish, then US 30 is probably gonna be bullish as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna enter this trade yet because this is such a big move right here. It's probably gonna come back to retrace, and then it'll provide for an entry off that point. Otherwise, we'll be looking for some entries here on the 3 minute for a quicker scalp if that if that becomes the case. So I do have alerts set up for those too. And yeah, other than that, I think we can look at a couple Forex pairs right now. So let's see. I think there's a question above. Let me see where. question was, so if you guys asked the Forex or any question at all, like an actual trading question, and I didn't get to you yet, just put it back in the chat real quick, and then I will take a look at it. So Short Scene wanted me to take a look at Euro Odd. So I'll pull up Euro Odd real quick for you guys. So here is Euro Odd. So for Euro Odd right here, I wish I would have called this trade. I was going to call it for a buy. It would have hit full TP right there off that first candle. But I'll go ahead and analyze this from scratch. So I'll take everything off the chart. I'll zoom out from here. And here's a naked chart. First thing I'm going to do is turn on the momentum indicator to identify, or sorry, the K2SR indicator to identify market structure. So the first thing I always do is I identify market structure by drawing my K2SR zones. So I just draw my zones on the chart like this. I basically just overlap the K2SR zone so that I can see exactly where price is, rejecting from. So we have this setup right there. We have this setup over here. This right here. And this right here. All right, cool. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And after zooming back out, you can see that we have some perfectly drawn market structure here, right? So price broke into the structure right here on January 14th. It pulled back out, dropped back in on February 4th. And since then, it's been within this area right here, right? So the next thing I do is I turn on the momentum indicator and I identify my bias. So for example, right here, the most recent signal was a buy signal, right? So with that said, my bias is a bullish bias. So right here, we have a rejection from this point. This is where the move started. We have a rejection from this point right here, a bullish bias right here because we have the buy signal. And from there, we're only taking buys. So from this side right here, when price breaks structure, it generally pushes up to the next structure where it continues to push up even higher. So right here, it pushes up higher. It closes above the structure right here, providing for another entry. So with that said, it pushes up from here up to the structure up here. So currently right now, price is breaking back into this structure right here. What I would wait for, short scene, is I would wait for this to close back above here. And then once it closes back above here, then I would take that buy and then I would write it to the next structure above there. I'd give it some space. So I'd just round it off. Instead of 65, I'd probably round it down to like 60. And that would be my setup right there. But I would have to wait for this to close back out here in order for me to take this entry. So this is pretty much my analysis for Euro Odd. And it's the same analysis I do for everything that I look at. It works for Forex, it works for commodities like oil and gold, and for indices, and what else does it work for? It works for everything. So basically, if you guys have any questions for any pairs that you guys want me to analyze, just put them in the chat, and then I can take a look for you guys. So anyways, back to what we were looking at earlier. Let's see, we got a 3-minute signal right here. Gotcha. Okay, perfect. So I'm looking at, I'm back at the indices right now, looking for some scalps here. Like I mentioned, you can see the candle is starting to come down, right? So as it's starting to come down, we're waiting for that setup to appear right here so that we can take a buy upwards. So we're just waiting for it to dip as far as it can dip. And then we're going to hop into that buy. So same with this right here for the US 30. I'm looking for this sell signal to appear right here. And then I'm going to take the opposite buy when it swings back up. So I'm hoping this closes with a sell so that we can catch it on the upside. So let me check the other. All right, so this is kind of risky right here. Well, I mean, not risky because we're on a trade, but it's kind of risky because this looks like the DAX is possibly coming down. If it's coming down and it's coming down for the S&P as well, then this might be a valid sell if it ends up appearing, but I'm probably not going to take it. I'll probably use that as a tester and I'll see how it drops, because this can easily just come down slightly and then it'll swing right back up. Right. So that's why for this here specifically, this is what I'd be looking for. But it's bullish right here. See how it's swinging back up? That's how we know that it's probably going to be overall bullish. So I'm hoping we get a sell signal here, and we're just going to skip that and we're going to wait for the buy, and we're going to take the buy up for a quick little scalp upwards for US 30 here on the 3-minute, using the momentum indicator. All right, perfect. We got 30 seconds left on this candle. I'm really hoping it closes as an invalid signal. There we go. That's perfect. As long as we get any sell signal there, it doesn't matter if it's valid or invalid. That's fine, because the next signal is going to be a buy signal. So we got 20 seconds left on this candle right here. I'm going to wait for it to play out from that point. And then, oh my God, I just saw the chat again, dude. Kyle. All right. Yeah, if you guys are just joining the room, there's like a lot of stuff that's happened like in the past hour. And if you know what I'm talking about, you'll see what I'm laughing at right now. So let me just let me add everything else over here real quick. Let me all right, so Josh said 3-minute sell, need to pass level 2 pivot. If not, valid. Okay, gotcha, Josh. So Josh wants it to pass, the second pivot for it. So let me just check this real quick. So, all right, so B Money wants me to take a look at GBP USD. Steven wants me to take a look at NAS 100. So let's see, we got Steven there. Steven and Balu. So let me add this to here real quick. So Steven, Balu. All right, hers wants me to take a look at GJ. JPY. Oh, here we go, David. David finally made it to the party. Let's see. Short Scene wants me to take a look at Euro CAD. All right, here we go. All right, so David said, how do I draw multiple time frame support resistance without ending with here? Sorry, let me check your message again, David. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. Oh man, price just keeps pushing up. It's like I want to hop in for that buy, but I also don't want to hop in too early. So we'll see how this ends up pushing. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it ends up playing out. I was really hoping we had that sell. So if we had that invalid sell right here, that'd be perfect, because then we could have taken this buy right here and then wrote it up. But unfortunately, it didn't end up. Kyle Jobs. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. If you guys are looking at the YouTube chat, it's kind of funny right now. Well, this whole morning's been kind of funny. If you guys were in this session from the beginning, so you guys might want to rewatch this replay, because it was kind of it's a comedy show this whole morning. All right, so David said, how do I draw multiple time frame support resistance without ending with? I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that, David. So if you could send a screenshot or something, because I don't know what you're talking about with your question. So are you talking about the K2SR indicator, or are you talking about drawing your own support and resistance? David, you missed a lot, bro. You got to go back and rewind this replay later on from the beginning. Man, if David was here, he would have been on top of it. But yeah, you're not even at work, David. Do you have work today? You're on your actual username. You're not on Ron Mexico. Kyle said basically he wants to have multiple support resistance. You're gonna have to basically open multiple charts and do it that way. Oh, gotcha. Okay, Kyle. Yeah. Yeah, David, if you can either be a little more specific, or if you read Kyle's response to you right there, I'm not sure which one you're, if that's what you're asking for. If that's what you're asking for, then yeah, Kyle's responded to your question there in the chat. But if your question is different, then if you could be a little more specific, I can help you out with it. I just don't know what you're asking for. Oh, gotcha, David. David's driving to work right now. See, Monster said, so does it mean when the DAX comes down, the other indices will come down also? Not exactly all the indices. It's the DAX is one of the indices that correlates with US 30. So the three indices that correlate with US 30 would be the DAX, S&P. Well, just those two. The DAX and S&P correlate with US 30 directly. So these are the three indices that correlate. Not all the indices move the same. So like Aussie 200 sometimes correlates with them, but it's not always the same. See the China 50, it still moves sideways. The Spain 35 is coming down. The French 40 is kind of going up. The Nikkei is coming up as well. So sometimes they do move in the same direction, but they don't necessarily move like the NASDAQ. I would never match the NASDAQ with the DAX, S&P, or US 30, because these definitely don't correlate. But the main one that correlates would be the DAX, S&P, and US 30. And I'm trying to hop into this, but it keeps freaking rising. I'm trying to hop into this, but every time we look at it, it just keeps going up higher and higher. I don't understand like why people always post these little scam things for freaking blockchain. It's like who actually falls for this? All right, cool. Now it keeps rising. Neptune, I'm waiting for it. Yeah, if you want to just buy Neptune, I mean, you could just take a smaller lot size and just hang on to it. But yeah, man, this thing keeps coming up. It goes higher and higher. Like I thought it was going to come down right here, but it got really close. Like if you guys can see right here, it came really close to the pivot, but it didn't touch it. So if it came down and touched it, this would have been a perfect entry off this. Let's see. Ivan said to check the 8-minute. I don't see anything here on the 8-minute, Ivan. I see there's a rejection off the pivot right there, but nothing off like the most recent candles. I'm going back on the 10. It's the same entry that was right here, off the same candle, but there's no entry because there's no structure below it where it's rejecting off. So I did look at it, Ivan, but I don't see any. I don't see any entries off here. Nice. So Porsche got 2 nice scalps off the S&P on the 10-minute. So let me just pull that up real quick. Let me see what Porsche was looking at. So it looks like price is finally coming down right here to the pivot. So hopefully we'll have an entry sometime soon. Nice. So Porsche said that they took, see, 2 nice scalps. Yeah, so I see them right here. Perfect. So there's a scalp right here and there's a scalp right here. These 2 green candles. So this green candle right here and this green candle right here are both entries for some scalps because they reject off the pivot and the structure right there. So with that said, Porsche took this trade right here, full TP off that one. And then again, right here on the next one, this green candle, full TP off that too. So nice work to you guys who caught that off the S&P. You can use the same strategy on any indice. It's not just US 30. It just depends on what you want to trade it on. But nice work off that, Porsche. We missed that one right there. Well, we missed both of these actually. They both would have been some good trades for sure. Let me go back to US 30 real quick. Let's see. Sisu said that if there's a new resistance forming. So let me just get this open real quick. I don't see it on my chart right now, Sisu, but yeah, I could definitely see a resistance possibly forming, at some point. So I'm just gonna delete this off the chart, and then we'll take a look at this when we see it. So let's wait for this to come back down so that we can take this scalp up, but it just hasn't come down yet. Let me check the DAX too. The DAX right here. See, the DAX has a lot of zones right here. All right. Let's see. All right, Josh said, Shawn, you're looking at S&P. Oh yeah, no, I was taking a look at S&P real quick because Porsche was asking about S&P because Porsche took 2 scalps off of that, so I was just checking it to see if that was the case there. Yeah, anyways, we're still looking at US 30 here. There's still no entry available. I already made 2 scalps trade this morning, so I'm not really too worried about missing any trades. It looks like a lot of you guys took some trades this morning too. Damn, look at Quen. Damn, Quen like scalped his ass off. Look at Gwen's profits over here. So if you guys are in the premium group, you can see Quen over here. He locked in 638. He took a lot of scalps this morning. So he took a couple losses off GJ, but his US 30 is flawless. Look, just for this morning, he made 638. And this is a small account too. He's only taking like 0.01s. So this is some pretty nice profit off this Quen. Oh, he's got 2 accounts actually. So he locked in 638 off his personal right here. And he took another 531 off his other personal. So nice work, Quen, off those 2 right there. So you guys can see, if you guys learn the K2 strategy, you guys can kill it on your own. You don't even need me to call signals for you guys. If you guys just learn how to do this, like, because I teach you guys how to do all this stuff anyways, you guys can literally take all these trades on your own. So nice work, point. I'm gonna give you a little fire emoji right there. Nice work, bro. Nice. Rick over here too. Rick made he made a quick $500 scalp. So he took the trade on his own right there. He said made a quick 500 buying dips on the pivot. So basically, when price came down, rejected off the pivot, Rick hopped in and he took a nice little scalp right there. Made 500 this morning. So overall this morning, Rick is up 751. So just a reminder, Rick here joined K2 like he joined K2 like, was it like a week or 2 weeks ago, Rick? And he's been killing it so far. So great work to Rick here. If you guys learn the strategy, you guys can pick up like everything like super quickly. Basically everyone here who has all these profits here, like Rick took all these trades on his own, because I didn't call any trades this morning. Quinn made all these profits on his own as well. Let me just copy this over too. Who else profited on their own? Mondra over here, he took all these trades on his own. So everyone made about 1,000 on their own, like nearly 1,000, everybody on their own this morning without me calling any trades, because they know the strategy. Like Sisuk over here, he took trades on his own. GJ, I don't even trade GJ. So see Trello over here. So if you guys learn the strategy, you guys can make a lot of profit just trading on your own, rather than waiting for me to call these, call these trades for you guys, because obviously, there's not always going to be good trades that come up. And the trades that I take, I trade very careful. Like I trade very conservatively. So I don't take trades that are not for sure. I only take trades that I think are guaranteed to win. So that's why I'm very careful. If you guys look at all my trades from this week, like this is the reason why I have no losses this entire week, right? So literally they're all profit, because I'm very careful with my trades. I only took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 US 30 trades this week, for a total of 8,000 if you include like last Friday's trades or last Thursday's trades. But I think just for this week so far, it's like about 6,000 in profit. And I haven't had any losses because I'm very careful with my trades. If you guys want to be riskier, you guys are welcome to do that. Like obviously you can see other people here, they take a lot more trades than me. Like Rick probably took, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he took 12 trades just today on his own, but he still came out in profit. So if you guys want to be risky, you guys are more than welcome to. But if you guys are just copying my trades, obviously I'm taking very careful trades, and I'm only taking stuff that I know are going to win. So that's why there's a difference between profit. That's why a lot of people sometimes make more profit than me. All right, so let me just keep looking here. So this is starting to come down. This is perfect. We're waiting for this to come down and have a wick rejection off this pivot right here. If it comes down and rejects off this pivot, then we'll take a buy right here. And then we'll ride this up for 500 pips. So that's all we're waiting for right here. That's pretty much the waiting game that we're playing right now. We're just waiting for this to play out. Once it plays out, then we'll be taking that trade. Let me check the other indexes real quick. DAX and S&P are bullish. So this is perfect, guys. This is awesome. I want this to close so that we can take a buy. Man, I'm tempted to just hop into a buy right now, honestly, for like US 30. But I know I'm not going to, because like I said, I'm a careful trader. I don't take these risky trades here, because you can literally, every time it came up and came down, you can take a buy, because this is just bouncing off the dip right there. And I think this is what a lot of you guys do. You wait for it to dip between the pivots. You take another buy. Wait for it to dip between the pivots. You take another buy, and you just keep stacking up from there. Because there's a lot of different ways to apply the strategy. It's not that difficult. It's literally checklist. So this is perfect. We have a pending sell right here. This is exactly what we want right here. So we can hop into this these other scalps once it swings back up. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine that US 30 is dropping right now, because I'm going to take the next buy when it ends up coming back up. All right, perfect. So we got 40 seconds left on this candle. I'm going to see how this closes here. All right, cool. Finally, guys, finally a trade. All right, cool. We got 20 seconds left on this candle. Man, I'm hoping this thing stays down here. Really hoping it stays down there so that we can hop into these buys when it swings back up. All right, cool. I'm not going to take this sell right here. If you guys want to take this sell using Josh's strategy, you guys can, but I'm not going to take it. I have a bullish bias. All right, perfect. So we got that sell right there. All right, perfect. So now I'm just going to watch for this to swing back up. So we're looking for a rejection off here. This is using the Snipe strategy. And then for Josh's 3-minute strategy, we're going to be looking for a buy signal right here. So if you guys want to take this sell here, you guys can. I'm not going to take it. So this is at your own risk, guys. If you guys want to take it, this is a setup for it. But I don't recommend you guys take it because it's kind of risky. Not to say that it's not going to come and hit a TP right here before swinging up, because this can easily happen. This can happen right here where it swings down, hits your TP, and then it swings all the way back up, right? But I'm not going to take that risk. So if you guys want to take this trade, go ahead. There's the parameters right there. Entry, TP, stop loss. This is Josh's strategy. It's not my strategy, so I don't know all the ins and outs of the strategy. But basically, he takes the the valid signal, or not the valid signal, but any momentum signal that goes in a direction when it's past a certain pivot. So here's the parameters right there. If you guys want to take it, like I said, I'm not going to take it because everything here is bullish. So I'm looking for some buys. I'm not looking for some sells. So I'm going to wait for this to swing back up. When it swings back up, I'm going to take a buy, and then I'm going to continue right it up. Oh, this is perfect right here. All right, so we got a setup right here. So when this closes in the next 8 minutes, we're probably going to take this buy right here. Kind of tempted to just stack a position. So we'll see. We'll see what we do about this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put on my mom's FTMO, because I'm doing an FTMO for my mom. It's in verification right now. She only needs $600, so I'm gonna have this set up right here. So when I do take the trade, once she reaches 600, I'm just gonna close out so she get her funded account. That's nice, man. Get my mom 100K funded account on FTMO. So let's see how this plays out right here. We got about 7 minutes left on this candle. We got about, so I'll just leave this setup for you guys right here. Like I mentioned, this is a risky trade, so I'm not taking it. This is a take at your own risk trade. And that's why I'm not really setting alerts for it, because I'm not necessarily following it on my own end. So we'll keep following it, like we'll watch it, but I'm not necessarily gonna focus on it. So let's see how this ends up playing out, guys. I'm hoping it hits for you guys, for whoever took it. Yeah, this thing's starting to dump heavy right now. Maybe we might be swinging for an opposite move here. So I'll just set an alert here to let you guys know when it hits TP. It's probably gonna hit TP already. Let's see. Josh scalp full TP. All right, here we go. We're almost there. Gotta get these horns ready for you guys for when it hits. Damn, I should have just took it with you guys. That'd be a quick little scalp. That would have finished off my mom's FTMO account. All right, we're almost there. Yeah, I'm so close. So close. All right, so there's not going to be an entry here for this scalp right here. Things look like they might be shifting. Oh, there we go. There we go. Full TP for whoever took that trade. So congrats whoever took it. I didn't take it. It was too risky on my end. There's your horns. So whoever took that trade, congrats to you guys. I didn't take it, obviously, but if you guys took it, nice work. So I'll just give you guys an update in the chat for the guys, for you guys who are applying Josh's strategy. Nice. Josh took it right here. Boom. 119 profit. Nice work, Josh. I had a feeling you were going to take it. Nice work. So let's see. Nice work, Josh. So I'm gonna go ahead and send that over. Yeah, I'm thinking it's dumping like crazy. This is why we got to be careful today, because we don't really know what's going to happen with the market, with it bouncing around so much. So yeah, congrats to you guys who took that trade. Well, yeah, Josh, you're on point with that. Dang, looks like Josh took another trade off there too. So it looks like a lot of you guys actually took that trade. Sisu took that trade too. He made about 400, 600, 700, 800, about 900 bucks off those trades right there. So he's in total 1,116 1,165 in profit. So we'll save that. See what David got over here. Nice. David took it for that sell too at the top when it swung up. Nice work, David. Yeah, damn, everything is starting to dump right now. So if you guys took that trade, nice work. Damn, looks like our bias might have to change now. We were looking for some bullish biases, but damn, look at S&P. This thing dumped too. So the DAX dump, or it's starting to dump. S&P starting to dump. US 30 is starting to dump as well. This is, I don't know, this is kind of a risky trade, because this might, I mean, it looks like a good, looks like it could be a good sell for the daily entry, but it just looks a little risky on my end, but it's all good. Maybe I'll call it for you guys. Maybe I won't. I'll see how I feel once this candle actually closes, because it might come up and retrace a bit before it actually, you know, really dumps down. So let me just get this right here set up. That's all good. So yeah, if this ends up closing right here, we got about 3 minutes left on this candle right here. If this ends up closing, this is going to be the daily entry for US 30. But this is such a big drop right here that I'm expecting it to possibly come up and retrace a little bit. So I might call for a late entry, because it might come up, retrace, and then come back down, right? So you probably don't want to come in like in right away, because it just broke structure. So it might break structure, retest, and then come back down, right? That's probably what's going to happen. So I'm probably not going to call it right away, but I'll give it some time for it to breathe before we end up, you know, calling this trade here. So I got that set up right there. It closes in 2 minutes. So we got to focus on this a little bit right here. Damn, there's gonna be no scalp here that's available now, because it's dropped so much. So that's dropped right there. This is also dropped right here as well. So I think if this becomes the case here, we're probably gonna wait for it to retrace back up and then go for another sell as it comes back down off the 3 minute as well. So patience, guys, just patience. So congrats to you guys who did take that sell earlier that I gave to you guys. You know, all of you guys took some pretty nice profit off those that little scalp right there. Let's see. Yeah, so mainly it was like C-Suke right here. We made 1,165, and then Josh as well, where he made about 400 bucks off those two trades right there. Looks like he had a small loss earlier this morning, but he covered that with today's trades this morning, just now. So let's see this real quick. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, guys. I was thinking they're trying to trap some sellers here. So I don't know if I'm going to enter this right now. So like if you guys are looking at the chat right now, Peter did mention that the sentiment is 67% short. And Kyle also mentioned that he thinks you're going to trap the sellers as well. And that's basically what I'm looking for right here. Looking for this to, yeah, sentiment just increased. So there's a lot of people entering these shorts. All right, so we got 53 minutes left on this candle right here. Let me check the, I want to check the other indexes to see. So the DAX dropped, S&P dropped, US 30 dropped. We got 40 seconds left on this candle right here. So we'll be waiting for this to play out from this point. And then from there, we can determine, you know, whether we want to take this entry or not. All right, cool. So here is this entry off there. We got about 4 seconds left on this candle. Let's mark it up here. If you guys want to take it, you guys can. I'm not going to call the signal just yet. Or should we take it, man? I'm tempted to enter it, but it's like, I feel like it's going to come back and retrace. So if you guys want to take this right here, you guys can take it now. I'm going to hold off before taking it. I'm trying to figure out what's causing price to dump like that. Let's see. After a big year, expect the rest of this bull market. A couple news here from CNBC. So yeah, this is starting to drop a little bit. I'm not going to take this trade, guys. If you guys want to take it, you guys are more than welcome. Here's the trade. Here's the parameters right there. I think it's too risky of an entry right now, so I'm not going to hop into this just yet. I know, David, you're in that sell, right? Let me check your chart real quick to see what you're looking at. Your TP is at 32,450. Damn, your TP is way down there, bro. Yeah, no, definitely. So here, I'll call this trade for you guys here. If you guys want to enter it, you guys can. I'm just going to look for some scalps. So I'm not going to take the actual daily entry, but I will I'll take some scalps in between. I'm not really going to mess with that full move. It's such a big move. I'd rather just wait for some scalps to appear. So let's see, US 30 sell. But I do think it's going to drop. I think it'll drop. So if you guys want to enter right now, feel free. I'm going to send this alert to you guys real quick. All right, so we got that right there. Here, I'm just going to take a small lot size and I'll just take it down with you guys, or I'll try to take it down with you guys. All right, so I just entered the sell. So I'm in the trade now. I'm going to go for like a scalp or so. I'm not really going to hold it for all too that long. Well, let's see. Sorry, let me just get this real quick. The FTMO parameters. All right, let me just change this real quick. So let's see, this is going to be off by like 20 pips, I think. So it's going to be 1, 4. So yeah, I'm currently in the trade, guys. So if you guys want to hop in, I'm in. So this is, I consider this a safe trade at this point. So I'm currently in the trade. I'm in some slight drawdown right now. It's all right. I'm holding on to it. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So David sees the sell side liquidity there. So he thinks when it swings back down at 32,578. Let me just mark that on my chart. $32,578. It's gonna be a sell side liquidity right there. So let me just set these alerts real quick. Guys over here, let's see. Daily TP1, 750. TP1 right there. This is going to be daily full TP plus 1500. All right, so I got all of my alerts set up there already. So if you guys want to enter, it's at entry point. What is this going to be? US 30. All right, so I got all that set up right there. This is David's liquidity zone right here. So he thinks when price reaches this point right here, it's just going to come crashing down heavily. So we'll keep watching for it. But let me just set up my TP stop loss right here. Honestly, I'm probably not going to hold on to it all the way. I'll probably catch it as it dips down, and then I'll keep scalping it within. Stop loss is going to be 32,768. TP is going to be 32,468. Yeah, so it's right at entry, guys. If you guys want to hop into this, this is your time. Check this real quick. All right, so let's see. We'll be waiting for this to play out. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty flat right now for the most part. If we get a buy signal on here, it's probably going to come right back down. So I got TP set up and everything. We're all good to go. Other than that, I think we're cool for this for the moment. All right, so that's it for now. We have this daily entry right here. If I see some scalps, I'll call some scalps. I don't see anything right now. Let me just mark. Let me see if there's any zones down here. All right, so this zone changed a little bit. So I'm gonna go and redraw this zone right here. All right, so that looks cool. Send alert right here. Pivot to let me know when price comes and touches the pivot, so we can take a 10-minute scalp off that. And then same with the 3-minute over here as well. We'll be looking for some scalps here as this ends up, swinging up and then swinging down. It's gonna swing up and swing back down, which is fine. So let's see, it's right at entry right now, or like slightly above entry. It's probably gonna retest the structure right here, like I mentioned earlier, and then it'll probably come back down. So it'll probably come up, retest the structure, and then swing all the way back down. So now that we're in this daily position, it's just, it's literally a game of patience at this point. All right, we'll see how this plays out. So we'll just give it some time. Let's see if there's, yeah, Powell's going to speak in about, let's see. Powell's speaking in about an hour. So we got some time to play around with this. And then by then, I'm probably going to close out with some, with some profit. I don't know if I hold it into Powell's his speech. Like once I make into profit, I'm probably going to hop out before Powell speaks, and then after that, I'll probably hop back in for some scalps. But I'm probably not going to hold this for the full TP because I don't think this is going to drop in the next hour or so. It'll probably drop in the next, let's see, in the next 2 hours or so. Yeah, because Powell's going to speak like right here. Let me see this. I'm going to mark it up on the chart right here. He's going to speak at 9 o'clock. So once we get to this time right here, this is when the Fed starts to speak, and then they're probably going to push price up and down like pretty erratically. So once we get to this point, once we get closer to it, I'm probably going to close out my position in profit, and then I'll just scalp within it, once he's done talking, because I'm not gonna risk my trade just because I want to stay in it when he's giving his little speech in about an hour or so. So anyways, this is going to move a little slow. Let me see if there's anything else for me to look at before, we continue on from here. Sam said possible head and shoulders forming on US 30. Which time frame are you looking at, Sam? Let me see. So I'm looking here on the 10-minute. Let's see. Shoulder, head. Yeah, I don't know if you're referring to this right here. It kind of looks like a head and shoulder on the 10-minute, or if you're on a different time frame, that might be yeah, so like for right here, I don't know if this is what you're referring to. Sam, this might be what you're referring to right here. It's kind of like a messy head and shoulders. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, where it swung up. It looks like it, but it is kind of messy. Let me see if I could draw it again from right here. So if I just draw it from right here, yeah, it's not a clean head and shoulders, but I guess it could qualify as one. If you're looking at it, if you're really looking for head and shoulders, you could spot it, but I don't think I'd be able to spot it if I was just looking at it from a bird's eye view. All right, cool. We're just gonna wait for it to play out. Like at this point, I think it's gonna swing back down. Honestly, I think it's gonna come down with the rest of the with the rest of the indices right here. So like looking at this, the DAX is still coming down. So if this is coming down, US 30 is going to follow. Same with S&P. If it continues to drop, it's going to follow, right? It's just going to keep going down. So there's a scalp entry right here for S&P. I'm not going to call this as an official entry, but if you guys want to take it, there's a scalp entry right there, which is technically currently active right now. So there's a scalp entry right there for the S&P. We have the rejection off the pivot and rejection off the structure. So this would be a sell for S&P for some of you guys here who trade the S&P. So there's an entry there. There's our parameters if you guys are thinking about entering that trade. Entry, TP, and stop loss right there. All right, so let me move over to the next one over here. Sorry, guys, I'm just checking out what you guys are referring to. So let's see. So Sam was referring to the 5 minutes. So let me go to the 5 minute real quick. Let's turn this stuff off real quick and see what you were looking at there. So I'll zoom out from this point. Yeah, I don't really see a head and shoulders here, Sam. I see the same one that I was looking at earlier. So the same one that I was just looking at earlier over here looks like, or actually, yeah, I don't even see it here either, Sam. I don't know if you see something different from me. So let me see if I could. And the thing is here, just a reminder, guys, I don't trade patterns at all. So whatever I'm drawing, this is probably not right, but I'm just trying to figure out what Sam is looking at. Cause there's a head, I guess. No, that's not gonna be head and shoulders because the middle has to be higher. I guess this could be a shoulder right here. No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know what you see, Sam. If you want to send a chart, I can take a look at it, but I don't really see a head and shoulder here at all. Like this would be a head and shoulder right here, right? So this, oh, sorry. Like this would be a head and shoulder right here. Like I would consider this a head and shoulder, but I don't really see anything like this on this side over here on the 5 minute. I could be wrong, but who knows? I just don't know what I'm necessarily looking at there. It looks like US 30 spiked up a little bit. It's all good. It's probably gonna come and retest that structure before it comes down. So yeah, like I mentioned, it's just gonna be a game of patience. Now we're just gonna wait and see how this moves around. It's gonna get kind of risky though once we get closer to Powell speaking, because Powell does speak in about an hour. So you know, the closer we get to his announcement, the more riskier it becomes. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this ends up swinging from there. And then we can determine, you know, where it's going to be moving from. Let's see. Josh said 3 minute buy signal, won't be taking it. Yeah, so Josh is looking at the 3 minute right now. I guess he saw a buy signal right here. I wouldn't be taking that either. So it's cool. This will probably swing from this point. This will probably swing up and then it'll swing back down. Let me see if there's any scalps here for that. See, this is a risky entry right here. That's why I'm not going to take any trades right now. Well, not any scalps in any direction. Sorry, let me go back to US 30 real quick. Actually, this might be setting up for a scalp right here. So we'll see. There's a 3 minute signal there that Josh was referring to. Yeah, I definitely see it swinging down too. So this might be an entry right here. We'll see where this closes in the next 5 minutes, and then we could determine, you know, what direction to go from. We still got 5 minutes left on this candle. It's a lot of time on this candle to see what happens, because a lot can happen in 5 minutes. This can swing up, it can swing down. Probably at that point, we might get a sell signal for the 3 minute. And there we go. It's testing the structure right now. So you got 5 minutes left on this candle. We'll see as it tests the structure, and then we will we'll see it move to the downside from there. we're waiting for an entry right here. So if this ends up spiking down and we have a wick right here, this would provide for a scalp entry for the 10-minute for our normal snipe strategy. So we just gotta wait. It's 4 minutes. It's gonna be a lot of time. Let me check the other indices real quick. Let's see. Yeah, the DAX is swinging up right now too. You have some huge spikes right here for all of these. Let me check the other indices real quick. Let's see. The Aussie 200 spike up. So they're all kind of spiking up right now temporarily. But we'll see where they go long term. This is what I meant about it being a little risky. So this is coming back down now as we speak. This is what I meant about it being risky because the sentiment kept bouncing around. If you guys aren't familiar with the sentiment, this is basically where majority of retail traders are trading. IG is one of the bigger brokers, like international brokers that people use. So this is basically all of their traders. They're identifying where their traders are trading, whether they be short or whether they be long the market. So right now they're 65% short. It was at 68. People got stopped out, and then now it looks like it's going to come back down after they were able to wipe out some of the short sellers. So we'll see where this plays out. We got 3 minutes left on this candle. So in the next 3 minutes, we'll see if this closes here, and then this would possibly provide for a sell scalp here on the on US 30. So we got 3 minutes left. I mean, we're just waiting. We're just pretty much waiting for this. Yo, what's up, David? You're back. Looks like you're back at work now. You're on your other username. All right, yeah, we still got 3 minutes left on this, and then we'll see. David, so did your analysis change? Let me check real quick. Damn, man, these scammers, they keep coming with different links for these little Bitcoin scams. Gotcha. Yeah, no, it looks like your analysis is still the same, David, so we should be cool. We'll let's see what we do. Oh man, Rick, you're crazy, bro. Rick was like, this might be the day I blow my account. How did that happen, David? I mean, not David, Rick. If you guys are in the premium, you'll see what I'm talking about. Rick is taking some crazy moves today, looks like. Let's see, David, did you send me a chart? Yeah, I saw it. I saw your liquidity level. That's where I marked it up on mine too. I mark your liquidity level right here. So as you can see, it's wicking off the structure right here, right? So if it's wicking off the structure, we just want it to close with that wick right there. It's going to show that price is bouncing off the structure and it's going to come right back down. So same with this right here. If you guys are looking to take this scalp, we got about a minute left on this candle. So with that said, if this ends up closing right there, this is going to be the scalp entry for US 30. So we'll be waiting for this to close. We got about a minute left on this candle. And this looks like it's going to drop for a sell here as well. Kind of makes me want to stack on my position, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. It's coming back down. See, guys? Patience. Keep your cool and patience. So we got about a minute left. Let's see. Man, this is... I hate when the market's like this, when it's so choppy. I mean, there's a lot of factors to it though. Like, you know, the Fed is speaking in about an hour, so it is getting a little choppy. So I'm probably going to try to hop out a little within the next 30 minutes in profit if I can, and then possibly hop back in later once J Powell is done speaking. So this is going to be the scalp right here. So we got about 20 seconds left on this candle. So if you guys do want to take it, you guys can. It's going to be in the direction of the daily entry too. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be, it's just mirroring our daily entry pretty much. All right, guys, so we got about 10 seconds left on this candle. If you guys want to enter it, it's going to be right there. You got to wait for it to close, though. If it doesn't close below, there's not going to be an entry. There's no entry right there, guys, so don't enter the trade. There's no entry here because the wick, or actually, I guess, yeah, so there's an entry here, actually, guys, sorry. It's just, it's a tricky entry because it's touching this yellow pivot. So if you guys want to enter this sell, you guys can. This would be the sell scalp right there. It's kind of tricky because it's touching, here, let me see. Yeah, it is touching the yellow pivot. So this would be a sell scalp right there for this specific, candle on there. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what my, trying to figure out what the parameters would be for this. If this would be the case. Oops, let me check this real quick. Check with the, I hate how the FTML parameters are different. It's so annoying. It's like, it's not that hard to calculate, but it's just annoying because you got to go and put different numbers in. Okay, no, it's fine. I was tripping out for a second. I was like, why is the number so different? It's only off by like 20 pips. So yeah, if you guys want to take this trade right here, they're the parameters for that. Market is kind of choppy right now. It's kind of moving a little crazy. So it's a little risky, but if you guys want to take it, go ahead. Scalp number 1, full TP. There you go. Scalp number 1. So I'm just setting alerts for both directions. But yeah, here's the official scalp entry for that. If you guys want to copy it, there's the parameters, entry, TP, stop loss. Yeah, I'm in both of those. So we're good for the most part. Yeah, so I'm anticipating a drop to happen now. I already got my alert set up, so we're good. The daily entry is starting to come back down, rejecting off the structure here that I mentioned. And we'll just have to wait and see how this ends up playing out. So we'll be watching. Let me check the 3-minute too. So there's probably gonna be another scalp here. So I'll look for the 3-minute scalp as well if you guys are still trying to take that trade. But we got a couple active trades running right now. So it's 8:02. We got less than an hour from the Fed speaking. I'm hoping this drops before then, because it's just going to be it's going to be risky holding on to this into their speech. So it's all good. We'll be watching. All right, let's see. All right, so that's it for now, guys. That's all that we have. I'm not going to be answering questions until after Powell speaks, or once he starts speaking. So maybe in the next 30 minutes to an hour, I'll start answering questions. But right now, I'm just going to focus on these trades to see if there are any adjustments that we need to make, you know, from now up until the Fed, which is going to be in less than an hour. It's 8:03. The Fed speaks at 9, so we do have some time right now in between. It's all good. Let's see. Go check these other. So let's see. We got that there. The DAX. It's kind of tricky now because like before it, you know, it's easier when it's moving just directional. Like for example, here the DAX. If it's just going up, it's easy to just take buys. If it's going down, easy to take sells. It looks like now it's going into some consolidation this way. So we'll have to wait and see what plays out from this. Hoping the DAX comes back down. So yeah, it looks like it's coming back down. So we'll hold on to this and we'll see what plays out from here. But we got a long way to go. We got some time. I'm hoping the volatility picks up and it doesn't just stay flat, because there's like one of two things that can happen once the Fed starts. Once we get closer to the Fed speaking, it'll either go flat or volatility would pick up like pretty crazy. So I'm trying to see what are they speaking about today. Let me just check. Obviously, they're talking about the economy, but yesterday was kind of weird. I think like Powell was speaking about cryptocurrency. It wasn't what I was expecting him to talk about. I was expecting him to talk about like the economy as a whole. Let's see. Let's see if there's any news here on CNBC that can, necessarily affect our positions. I don't really see anything there. So let's see. 10 billion for Discord. Damn. So it looks like Microsoft is going to buy Discord for 10 billion. That's crazy. That's insane. They're probably going to use their messaging software, obviously. Yeah, that's a lot. 10 billion for Discord. All right, so obviously that's not going to affect the market. Let me see if there's anything else here. Pfizer begins early clinical stage testing oral antiviral drug for COVID. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like price is starting to move a little crazy right now. Let me go back to US 30. Jeez, this thing's starting to move crazy. So this is what I was talking about as we get closer to the Fed speaking. Either volatility is going to pick up or it's going to die down. Right now, it looks like it's picking up pretty heavily. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens from here. If we get stopped out, it's cool. I'm not gonna take any more trades until after until the Fed's done speaking, because this volatility is just gonna keep bouncing around. So we want to wait for it to smoothen out before we enter any trades, and then we'll determine whether we want to take some more, if we're gonna sit out for a bit or whatnot. Oh man. Sorry, guys, we have a bunch of messages right now. All right, let's burst the volatility right there. We'll see what ends up happening from here. And then from there, it's all good. So make sure you guys are using proper risk, guys. If you hit the stop loss, it's all good because you guys are using proper risk, right? You guys don't want to over leverage on these trades, especially on the daily. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are taking these trades, don't over leverage, guys. Make sure that you're using proper risk with every move, because we've had a bunch of wins this week already. So even if we have losses right now, this shouldn't affect your account that much. So just make sure you're not like feeling super confident like one day, and then you go super like high lot size when you're going like don't go from like a 1 lot to like a 3 lot to like a 5 lot. Because I've seen some of you guys do that. You guys will take a big lot size on like one day where you feel super confident, and then it just backfires on you, right? So always make sure that you guys use proper risk every single time. Don't take like crazy trades and then think that it's that it's going to be all right just because. Especially on a day like this, because there's a Fed news. If there was no Fed news today, then yeah, you're not going to see this crazy volatility. But price is going to keep bouncing around from now until the end of the news event. So hopefully your account's all right, Rick. I saw your message in the premium, but I know you were taking some pretty big lot sizes all throughout the week. But even if that was the case, if you were taking the same lot size yesterday up until today, you should be good because you took a lot of wins yesterday and the day before that. So I'll be watching. What the fuck? My MC4 is like frozen. Okay. That's what I don't like about MT4. All right, cool. I'm back on. I freaked out for a second. I was like, what the hell? Why'd he go offline? So I'm still in position right now. Do I hate that noise when you try to close out of a trade? Or not even just close out a trade, like if you have a trade active and then just goes, it makes that like weird noise where it just disconnects. All right, so I'm still in the trades right now. It's coming back down, rejecting off that structure right there. I'm still thinking if I'm gonna close out. I might close out, I might not. We'll see. because we're getting a lot closer to the Fed speaking, and I don't want to get caught and it spikes up and slippage happens, all that mess. I'd rather just close out with with a loss than have to risk it. Because that's the worst, guys. When you guys get caught in slippage and then you can't exit your trade, and then the MT4 servers go down, like it's all bad. It's happened to a lot of people here. In the like last year when COVID was happening and there was like a lot of crazy price movements, like MT4 would just go offline. And everyone's like, what the heck? What happened to their account? And they come back and everything's like gone. So we'll see how this plays out. It's 8:10. It just gets riskier and riskier as we get closer to 9 o'clock. Because at that point, price can either spike in our direction or it can spike above. And it can really go either way. There's no like one way that it's going to move. So it can spike up and it can spike down. And that's probably the worst, where it hits your stop loss and then it goes straight to your TP. So in some situations, it's kind of better just to close out rather than, hold on to the position. Let's see, it's 8:11. Still in it. If I close out, I'll let you guys know. All right, starting to come back down. Let me check the other pairs real quick. Dang, big spike up for S&P right there. This one as well. I knew we should have just waited for after the Fed to speak, but of course you're trying to get a couple more profits in here. Jeez, man, I keep getting a bunch of messages on Telegram. So guys, if you guys are messaging me on Telegram and you guys are here in the live room, you guys can see that I'm trading right now. So I'm not going to be able to get to you guys just yet. So let's see. And it looks like this is going to hit our stop for our scalp right here. So hopefully you guys are using proper risk, guys. So this looks like womp, womp, womp. Unfortunately, that hit our stop, or not yet. Looks like I'm still in it too. I'm still holding on to the daily over here. So we'll see how the daily plays out. Yeah, unfortunately, that hit stop loss. Where's it? First loss for the week, guys. It's all good. Just one loss for this week so far. And then we will we'll continue. So we still have the daily entry running too. So that hit the stop loss for that one. And we'll move on to the next one over here. Yeah, because we're still in the daily entry too. So unfortunately, that one hit. We should have just followed our instincts and not trade until the Fed speaks. But it's all good. Damn, man, how many messages you guys got to send me on Telegram? I got like 20 messages right now. Let's see. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, Marcus is mentioning that. I know, guys, like if you guys are using proper risk management, you guys should not be panicking. Like this is the first loss of like the entire week. So if you guys are using proper risk for every trade, you guys should be losing the same amount. Like that 500 pip scalp, that's only like 500 pips. If you took every other trade this week, you guys should be fine. Because we've had like, straight wins this week. How many trades did we have yesterday? So here's what I mean about proper risk, because a lot of you guys don't understand proper risk, right? What I mean about proper risk is that you guys take the same lot size for every trade. Like for example, here we had one win here for 250 pips, one win for 250 pips, one win for 500 pips right there. What else is there? Yeah, so we had a total of of, let me see, we had a total of 1,000 pips for the week so far, right? So for this one over here, let me see. Yeah, so right here we had 250. Here, actually, let me just add this up. So we got 250 plus the other one was 250 plus 250 for that one. Plus for this one over here is 500, right? So total pips that we have for the week is 1,200, right? So for example, right here, if you have 1,200 pips off this and you only have one loss, 500 pips, you should still be in profit for the week. So as long as you're using like the same lot size for all of these trades right here, you should be perfectly fine after this this one little scalp loss right here. So just just keep that in mind when you guys are taking these trades. Don't over leverage, because I do see some of you guys here. Let me just check real quick. I'm not gonna point anyone out, but let me see if I could see someone's, because I've seen some people where they use like crazy lot sizes like this, Rick. Like for example here, like you don't go from 2 to 4. Okay, if you're doubling up your lot size, that's how you blow accounts. You got, if you're using 2 for every trade, you be perfectly fine. But don't jump from lot size to lot size, because that's how you end up blowing your account. Because this technically shouldn't have really hurt your account that much, guys. Like just keep that in mind. This should not have affected you heavily. It's just one trade. We still have the daily entry running right now. It's currently in some heavy drawdown. The reason for this is because of the big spike up right now that just happened. So let me just delete this because we already hit stop loss for that scalp. But yeah, other than that, we're just waiting now for the news, because this is probably it's gonna come back down eventually, guys. It could come down here, it could come down later, but it's eventually gonna come back down, and then it's gonna swing back to where it's supposed to go. The only risk about this point right here is because we have the Fed speaking in like 40 minutes, so you're gonna see a lot of volatility of price going up and then coming back down and then going back up until it decides to choose a direction, right? It hasn't chosen a direction yet. Like right now, it's just retracing back up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to continue pushing, because it can push up until 9, right? It'll push up until the Fed speaks, and then as soon as the Fed speaks, it'll just dump, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. Never over leverage, use proper risk, and don't just double your lot size because you feel like you feel invincible, right? Nobody's invincible, guys. There's going to be losses in trading. Like I can see where some of you guys are feeling like overly confident, because last week we didn't have any losses. It was straight wins last week, and then this week we had straight wins Monday. So you're coming into Tuesday and you think that it's going to be guaranteed wins, but there's no guarantees in trading, guys. So just keep that in mind, and simple as that. Don't over leverage. Let's see what else we got over here. And even if this hits stop loss right here, guys, it's completely fine, because we have the rest of the week to go. And we have more scalps coming. It's not like this is the only trades that we're taking for the week. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, no, Marcus, I see your messages right now. I know you're trying to help, but my bad. Let me just get this. Yeah, I know you're trying to help with your analysis for that too, Marcus. But we really wouldn't know, because like, for example, right here. So here, I'll just show you for example. So when we entered this trade for US 30, price was like way down here, right? So if I go back over here, Marcus, it's not exactly what you were looking at. So if you're looking at this here, it was dropping. You look at the DAX, it was, or let me see, go back over here. If you looked at S&P when we entered that trade, Marcus, it was coming down. It wasn't actually going up. So the thing is, you looked at it when it was way up here already. So obviously you're going to think it's going up, right? But you didn't see it when we actually took the trade. So if you looked at it from back here, it was obviously coming down. So if you see this right here, you would think it was a sell, but vice versa. If you looked at it like, an hour, like 30 minutes later, then obviously it's not going to look like a sell anymore. So just keep that in mind. When we took the trade earlier, it didn't look like a buy. It looked like a sell. So we'll see where this comes down at this point. It's still running, it's still active, but it's just going to get risky as we get closer to the Fed speaking. The Fed speaks in about 40 minutes from now, and this can easily just reject off this point. It's just a matter of time before it ends up doing that. So let me check this real quick. Let's see. All right, not bad. Yeah, it looks like US 30 is trying to push back down from that point. Let me check the chat real quick, see if there's anything else over here. Monster's asking if I trade gold. So I don't trade gold, but I can analyze it. I don't necessarily trade gold on my own because it's I feel like it's highly manipulated. Like it goes back and forth a lot. It's not really directional like US 30. It's directional sometimes, but most of the time it's kind of back and forth movement. With gold, it's kind of unpredictable. So anyways, here's our daily entry right here. It's still running, technically active. You know, I'm gonna give an update for the loss over here for this. So I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you guys. If we have a loss, I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna mark it up for a loss there as well. So let's see, we got this right here. It was for a sell, and I'm gonna add this to the results, because you guys did see that, you know, we had our results last week and they're perfectly fine. But yeah, obviously this is our first loss in like 2 weeks, so it's all good. Let's see this real quick. Sam said, imagine using a demo account for 6 sessions, all wins, then switching to a real account today. You know, sometimes that happens. It's like horrible luck, right? And if you decide to like over leverage on it, let's see. Loss of 500, negative 500 pips for this US 30 scalp during live session. Where's the thumbs down button? Loss of damn, and look at it come back down now as we speak. Yeah, so you know, I share losses with you guys too. It's not like I'm only sharing wins, because it might seem like we're only sharing wins here because we had like unlimited, like it was just all wins last week. Because if you guys follow any of the K2 pages, like for example, right here, if you look at our results from last week, they were all wins, right? So we had full TP, like literally all of our US 30 trades hit full TP back to back to back to back. And this is because there wasn't news last week, right? There wasn't something causing price to go back and forth. There was news on Wednesday. That's why we only took one trade. But on Monday and Tuesday, there was no news. So we hit full TP literally all throughout the day. So this right here, you know, this would be all full TP, and then this would be our first loss. So if you guys have been following us for like the whole year, pretty much, it's been a great year so far. It's just you just can't win them all. So just keep that in mind when you guys are following along. But yeah, no, that's exactly that's exactly what happens all the time, Sam. I've seen that happen to a lot of people where they trade demo for like a long time, and then as soon as they go live, they take the wrong lot size, and then they end up not hitting it. But it's all good. I mean, shit happens. You know, there's no guarantees in trading. So as long as you guys use proper risk and you guys don't over leverage, you guys should be fine. Just eat the loss. Eat the loss, move on to the next one. All right, so the daily entry is still active right now. I'm like hoping that like once we reach the Fed, it's just gonna spike down. All right, so like with that said, CJ's asking, is the Fed news every 2 weeks? It's usually like once a month, but I don't know why this week it was like back to back, because they had Fed news last week too. So like there was Fed news this week, and then last week the Fed did speak again on Wednesday. I think so. The Wednesday one is the one that's once a month. It's usually like the second week of the month. But this week, I don't know why the Fed's speaking this week. Sometimes he speaks 2 weeks in a month, but usually it's just 1 week a month. So I don't know if this is just like random, because of the one yesterday, like when Powell was speaking yesterday, he was speaking to like a different community. He wasn't speaking to the treasury. He was speaking for some international thing. So I'm not sure if this week just happens to be a different week where he just speaks more often than he normally does. But yeah, it's usually once a week, CJ, if you're wondering. So, all right. So now that the market's kind of like died down a bit, I can start answering questions. So let's see. Yeah, Stephen, he's testifying at 9 o'clock. So it's 8:25 right now. He's going to testify in about 30 minutes. So that's why the market's moving kind of crazy. And that's why I was saying that these were kind of risky trades to take today, right? But we took the risk and it's fine. You know, you got to take risks sometimes. You can't just be scared to trade. It's just, Marcus said, Shawn, look at the 10-minute. It's a buy. I mean, it's been a buy since after we entered the trade, Marcus. You know, it was a sell right here. But yeah, obviously right now it's a buy. So, I mean, it's not a buy right now. It's technically just, it's still within this zone right here. So it can still reject off this point right here. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to shoot all the way up. It can still bounce off this point. So if you want to send your chart, Marcus, you could send your chart. Let me see. Do you send a chart for me? Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, no, I see your messages, Marcus. See, the thing with the way that you like to trade, Marcus, is that you try to you try to like force trades, because I see that you go from like the 8-minute to the 7-minute to the 1-minute. Like that's why you got to stay consistent on like one time frame, because you keep bouncing from time frame to time frame. You're like forcing trades. Like for example, like if you're looking at a buy here, you're going to try to look for it for a sell. Like if you're in a sell right now, you're going to look for a specific time frame where it looks like a sell, right? Like for example, right here, we're looking for a sell, right? So in order for you to find that, you're going to go to every single time frame, because I've seen how you trade. You go from like the 7, you're like, oh, is it a buy? No, I want to sell. And then you go to the 8, and you go to the 9, and you try to wait until you find the one that actually works, right? But you shouldn't do it that way, because if you keep going from like 10 different time frames, you're not going to have consistency with the trades. I know you've been consistent with like the 8-minute and the 1-minute, but if you go from like, because now you're using the 7-minute, like I've never seen anyone use like all these special time frames before. Like I know the normal ones are like the 10-minute, 5-minute, 20-minute, but like the 8-minute, I've never seen anyone use the 8-minute. I think you're the only person I know that uses the 8-minute time frame. So I'll go ahead and answer some questions right now while we wait for the Fed to speak, because there really isn't much for us to look at right now anyways, because I'm not going to enter anything new until he's done speaking. So let's see. The first question here is for B Money. He wants me to take a look at GBP USD. So I'll pull up GU for you guys over here. Let's see. GU right here. So I'm going to take everything off the chart. Zoom out from this point. First thing we're going to do is turn on the K2SR indicator right here. So for this right here, I'll draw market structure first. The first thing I do for every analysis is I identify market structure, so I know where to trade and where not to trade. So I'll identify this right here. This right here. This down here as well. But you know, like going back to what I was saying, guys, it's all about consistency, right? Like Marcus likes to trade on the 8-minute. That's perfectly fine. He can trade on the 8-minute. But what I mean is, because I see a lot of people who are, I see a lot of people, like what they do sometimes is they try to go on every single time frame to find a trade. Like they're trying to force a trade. And you know, you can get lucky that way. Like literally you can get lucky, but you know, how long is your luck going to run for until you end up having a really bad trade and end up blowing your account, right? So what I always recommend, guys, is that you guys have consistency with your trades. Don't go from like the 10-minute to the 30-minute to the 1-minute to the 7-minute to try to find a trade, because some people do that. They try to go from time frame to time frame. So like Marcus, I know that you like the 8-minute, so maybe you should just stick with the 8-minute. Don't go from the 8-minute to the to the 7-minute and like stuff like that, because if you do that, you know, you're going to find trades. If you're really looking for something, you're going to trick yourself to see something that's not really there. And yeah, you're going to get lucky from time to time, but one day it's just not going to work, and then you're going to regret it. So just keep that in mind. And I know that because I've done that before. Anyways, back to GU right here. I've drawn my market structure. You can see price broke into this structure on February 5th, and it's been ranging within this area since then. So the next thing I do is I turn on the momentum indicator. And then from this point right here, I identify where our bias is. So the most recent signal is a sell signal right here. So we're only looking for sells at this point, right? So the rejection happened from up here off this structure. And then from that point, we had the sell signal right here. From there, price broke to this structure down here. And now what we're looking for at this point is we're waiting for price to, let's measure this real quick, 30 pips. So what we're looking for here, B money, is we're looking for price to close below this structure right here. So once price closes below the structure right here, this is where you would take your short entry right there. And then you can probably ride that for like 30 pips or so, right? For a little scalp move right there off GU. So with that said, once that happens, if price ends up breaking below here again, down here, then you can actually take this for a bigger move down here. So this is pretty much my analysis for GU, B money. So, you know, like I always recommend, you guys got to be patient. Don't just hop into a trade just because you feel like it's going to move a certain direction. You got to be patient and wait for it to actually move before taking it. So this is my analysis for GU right here. But like I mentioned, you have to wait for it to actually close below this specific time frame. I mean, before this specific price point, before you end up taking this trade. So that's pretty much it for GU right there. Let me go back to US 30 real quick. So it's still rejecting off that structure, guys. It's fine. I'm still getting a lot of questions from you guys, right? Like, I already know that people freaking out are the people that are over leveraging. So as long as you guys use proper, as long as you guys are using proper risk management and using proper lot sizes, you guys should be fine, guys. Like, you know, like I mentioned, like I don't need to reiterate myself. Like literally, if you guys follow directions and use proper risk, you guys should be fine. Because like for me, I was able to eat those losses because it's just one loss. It's not like I'm blowing my account over like one trade. So all right, so that's it for GU right there. The next trade is going to be NZD. Sorry, so that's it for GU. The next is Nasdaq 100 for Steven and Balu. So let me pull up Nasdaq 100 real quick. So let me check real quick. Nasdaq is right here. So I'll analyze this on the higher time frame first, and then from there we'll move down to the lower time frame for these scalps. So I'm gonna take everything off the chart here. Here is a naked chart. There's nothing on the chart. First thing I'm gonna do is the same thing I did for the Forex pairs. So for the Forex pairs, oh, sorry guys, I keep getting these messages, guys. So if you guys keep messaging me on Telegram, I'm just not going to look at your messages anymore because like my thing is just blowing up like crazy, and I'm trying to analyze this for you guys here. So if you guys are sending me messages on Telegram, I'm putting my phone like way over here, so I'm not going to look at any of your messages from now until after the session. Okay, guys. So just be respectful for the live session, guys. If you guys want to message me, message in the YouTube chat. Don't message me on Telegram because I'm not going to bother looking at the Telegram at all now, because I'm getting like way too many messages right now for people asking the same question. They're just asking about certain things. But yeah, so I will I'll take a look at your messages a little later. All right. So anyways, back to what I was saying right now. So back to the NASDAQ. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my market structure. It's the same thing I do for every other pair that I analyze. So when I do that, I turn on the K²SR indicator. I draw my zones up here. Right there. Right there. Right there. And we'll bring this down a little bit. And Marcus, you know, back to your question, like when I was saying the market repeats itself, it depends on what asset you're trading. It doesn't work like that for indices. So just keep that in mind. because indices are directional. They're not a ranging asset like Forex. So the analysis for that's totally different. So I think you might be getting the analysis, kind of mixed up. So anyways, back to the NASDAQ right here. Price broke into the structure right here on March 9th. And then from that point, it's been pushing up. And then it's just been ranging within this area here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check out the momentum right here. So we have a buy signal right here. We have a rejection off this point right here. And from this point, we're only be looking for buys, right? So for what I'd be looking for here, in order for me to take a buy, I want price to break and close above this structure right here in order for me to take that buy right here. Until that happens, there's not going to be a buy for me to take, because you guys can see that the last time it reached this point, came up from here, rejected off this point, and then dropped. So it's rejecting off this point again right here, right? So what's probably going to happen from here? It's probably going to drop. So just keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it for the NASDAQ 100 on the 1 hour. So I'm going to go on the shorter time frame and show you guys for any scalp entries possibly. So let's go over to the NASDAQ right here. And the Fed's going to speak in about 20 minutes, guys. So I wouldn't recommend entering any trades right now. Just hold tight, wait until he's done speaking, and then enter trades. Because at this point right now, it's just too much risk. You're just gambling at this point. Because as soon as he starts speaking, price is either going to spike up or it's going to spike down. So it'll either go in your favor or it'll go against you. And there's no point in risking that, unless like you're able to handle that risk. And there's just no point. Like, why would you risk your account just to gamble off the news? So anyways, back to NASDAQ right here. It looks like the most recent entry for NASDAQ would have been right here. And I don't know if this would have hit TP or stop loss, but this looks like, there's a lot of entries here. So depending on which one you would have taken, there's two right here. Actually, there's like 3 entries right here. So these are all entries right here, because this red candle, the wick rejects off the pivot and structure. Same with this green candle right here. It rejects off the pivot and structure. And same with this green one right here. So if you took this trade right here, looks like you would have hit full TP. If you took this green one right here, looks like this would have hit full TP as well. But it looks like if you took this one right here, this green one, this third green one, if you got the short end of the stick and took the last trade, looks like you would hit stop loss off that one. Yeah. So 2 wins right here and then 1 loss right here. So like I mentioned, it's been choppy since this morning, right? Market opened here at 6:30. And then this whole morning, it's been like choppy all over the place. So like what I was saying is this right here, would possibly, well, if you took the first one, full TP, the second one, full TP, and this one would have been a loss. So it'd be 2 wins and 1 loss. So for example, if you're trading the same risk, like I was mentioning for the NASDAQ, like say for each one, you go for 500 pips, right? First win, 500 pips, right? So for example, right here, this one, or actually I think 500 pips might be too wide. Or who knows? I don't trade the NASDAQ, so I wouldn't really know. So anyways, this right here, 500 pips, that'd be a win. The next trade right here, 500 pips plus 500 pips, that'd be another win. And then for this one right here, this would have been a loss, right? For negative 500 pips. So like I was mentioning earlier with using proper risk, if you use proper risk for this, you should still be net positive if you ended up taking, all of these trades here. Because if you have 1 win, you made, like, say for example, you're trading for $500, right? You made 500 off this, you made 500 off this, you lost 500 off this. You'd still be in profit 500 for the day, net positive. So that's what I mean about using proper risk, right? Because for example, here, if you're going for like, say for one trade, you're going for the first trade 500, right? The second trade 500. The next trade, you just get super overly confident and you double up your lot size, or you like triple it. So you end up losing 1,500. That's how you go into the negative when you don't use proper risk. So that's what I keep reminding you guys, that you guys have to use proper risk for every single trade. Don't get too overly confident. Don't be like, oh, I just won 2 trades, so I have to win the third one. Odds are you might lose that one. So be careful and just be cognizant of your account, guys. Don't risk it all on one trade. All right, so let me go back to this over here real quick, and let me see. But yeah, guys, if you guys have questions, just message me on Telegram. Message me on the YouTube chat. Don't message me on Telegram because I'm not going to look at the messages right now. I'm just getting too many of the same messages, and I'm just busy analyzing stuff right now. So that's it for NASDAQ 100. Let's see. We have another question from Marine. She wants me to take a look at S&P 500. So I'm gonna look at yours after that. Herb wants me to take a look at GJ. So let me pull up GJ first. We'll go over to GJ real quick right here. Delete everything off the chart. Go on the 4-hour. Zoom out from here. So I'm gonna do the same analysis that I did for everything else over here. So pretty much for this right here, this first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator to identify, or sorry, the K2SR indicator to identify the market structure. So we got market structure down there. We got this right here. We got this right here. It's above there. And I'm not really going to care too much about this market structure because price is way up here. So it's a bit irrelevant. It's not really too necessary. Yeah, like going back to what I was just telling you earlier, Marcus, like what Marcus mentioned is that I always tell you guys that the market generally repeats itself, right? That applies to Forex pairs because Forex pairs are a ranging asset. They move back and forth. Indices are a totally different market. Like indices move directional, and institutions can push like that price around a lot easier than the Forex market. So your analysis for like the basic analysis identifying market structure will work, but identifying like how price moves is going to be totally different when you're comparing Forex to indices. And that's why we have different strategies for each one, because they're totally different. So anyways, looking at GJ right here, you can see that price pretty much broke into this structure in December. So it broke into this area in December. It went sideways and it shot up again right here. And it just kept going. It just did a staircase, right? It went sideways, it pushed up, went sideways again right here, pushed up, went sideways again right here. And this is what I mean about market repeating itself, right? It just goes up, consolidates, goes up, consolidates. And it's because Forex is a ranging market. It's not necessarily directional. Like it'll be directional from time to time, but it's always going to go back into consolidation. It'll go up and then it'll go sideways like this, right? This is what I mean about price repeating itself. If you compare GJ to something like US 30, see, if you look at US 30, it doesn't repeat itself. It'll go up, it'll go sideways, it'll go up and down, go right back up, and then it'll just swing all over the place. And I'm just trying to explain to you guys that like these are totally different assets. So if you guys are going to analyze things one way or the other, you got to make sure that you're analyzing it properly. So anyways, back to GJ over here. Price broke up from here. It shot up, consolidated, shot up, consolidated, and now price is coming down. So from this point right here, we're going to turn on our momentum indicator to identify the direction of price, which is obviously a sell. So looking at this here, we have a sell signal. We have a rejection from this area above here. And then down here, this is where price broke and closed past the structure. So with that said over here, you would enter a short position and then you would you pretty much ride this down. So this is pretty much where I see price going. Maybe not 160. That's kind of a big move. I mean, even 150 pips is a big move as well. So like looking at this right here, this is probably going to push down to this structure over here, because you guys can see the same pattern played out over here as well when price broke structure. And this is pretty much what I see happening for GJ. So this is my analysis for GJ right here. It looks like it's starting to shift to the downside, but we'll see how it ends up playing out. But Herb, this is basically what I see happening for GJ. Another way that you can look at this is you can look at the indexes. You can pull up the pound index right here, the BXY, with the JPY right here, which is the JXY. And then what you could do from this point is you can identify where price is currently moving. So looking at this here, looking at the British pound index and the Japanese yen index. So right here, the pound is bearish, right? It's coming down. It's below the pivots. For the Japanese yen, it's above the pivot, so it's trending up. So with that said, that's going to give you more confirmation that this is going to go down. Because if this is going down, this means that the pound index is weak. If this is going up, this means that the Japanese index, which is the Japanese currency, it's going to be going up, which means it's in power. So when price is going down, that means that the second currency is stronger than the first currency. So if the Japanese yen continues to push upwards, then you could expect GJ to come down. Vice versa, when price is going up, that indicates that the first currency is stronger than the second currency right here. So with that said, if the pound goes up and the Japanese index goes down, then you could expect this to actually go the opposite direction, upwards. So just keep that in mind when you guys are looking at this. There's a lot of different ways to analyze the market. But the main way that the way that I do it every single time is I identify market structure, I identify the direction of momentum so I know where to trade. And then sometimes I compare the indexes if necessary. So that's pretty much what I see happening for GJ right now, but we'll have to wait and see how this ends up playing out from that point. Nice. Yeah. So Sisu said, I agree with GJ. That's why I entered and caught the profits. Nice, dude. Yeah, because Sisu did take that trade earlier. Let me check this real quick. Here, let me check this real quick. Yeah, I was just going to check C6 trades because C6 did take a couple. Oh, there we go. So here's C6 trades from today. He, actually, that's not from today. Yeah, so C6 took these sells here for GJ, right? So he made about 300 in profit right here off GJ. And he did that because this was swinging down from this point right here. So he marked up the analysis and he figured out that it was going to drop. And that's how he took this, his sell trades right there, where he locked in some pretty decent profit. All right. So other than that, that's it for GJ. So let's see. Next up, we have Euro CAD. Here, let me go back to US 30. Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, guys, this is what I mentioned. Like price can easily just reject off this point, and that's exactly what it did, right? So I'm not too worried about it. I'm still in this position too. I'm just gonna let it run and see what happens from this point. So yeah, other than that, let me go back to the questions over here. The next question is going to be Euro CAD from Short Scene. So let me just go down the YouTube chat real quick to see if I missed anything before I end up just going over this next pair. So let's see. Yeah, Steven said he's testifying. I don't think he's testifying yet, but he's going to be in about 10, 15 minutes. It's at 9 o'clock, Steven. So he'll be testifying around then, but right now he's not testifying just yet. Let me check YouTube real quick to see if he's started. I don't think he has. Let's see. How? 22nd? No, it's not it. Yeah, he's not live yet. Oh, they gave a little. So this might have been what kind of screwed the market for us, guys. So about an hour ago, they gave a little preview of like what he was going to talk about. So they gave a little preview right here. Powell, Yellen to testify. Here's what to expect. So CNBC actually gave a little breakdown of what they were going to talk about. So that's probably what caused price to spike up earlier today, because this happened about an hour ago, and that's exactly when price started spiking upwards. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of stuff that can affect the market that we're not really aware of until it actually happens, right? So I mean, it's muted right now, but obviously you can see that they're talking about market conditions, employment. So they probably said things that were positive, and that's what caused the US 30 to spike up from this point. Because this spike up happened, let's see. Yeah, a little bit over an hour ago, or less than an hour, exactly an hour ago. So when this news event was going on right here, price started to spike up, right? And that's what caused the spike up. But generally, price is supposed to come back down. So that's what caused. Well, I'm assuming that's what caused price to go up. And that's why we have to be fully aware of what's going on in the market. So sometimes this will happen where we're just not, where stuff just it just spikes up like that. And there's nothing that we can really do about it. It's kind of just, shit happens basically. But yeah, it looks like CNBC just released this an hour ago. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but whatever. That's better that we understand, what caused price to spike around like that. So other than that, let me check real quick to see if there's anything else. Short scene said it's going to go down for 50 pips, maybe see 5-minute time frame. All right, we have another question. So short scene has another question for another one. Let me see. So I'm gonna add you to the bottom of the list, short scene, because you have one question for EuroCAD. Next up, we have more Marine for SPX 500, and then short scene again for Euro NZD. So I'll take a look at that right now as well. Mr. Icklet said, how long will the Feds be speaking? They usually speak for like maybe an hour or 2 hours. So, I mean, it just depends on how long it decides to, on how long they decide to take. It's usually an hour, but sometimes they linger because they have a post conference after they speak, and then they end up speaking for like 2 hours instead. Let's see. Marcus said, don't hit me with the trade stick. Yeah, I know, Marcus. I'm just trying to explain to you, bro, so you understand, the difference, because they're a little different. Like Forex and indices are totally different assets, and that's why we use different strategies for each one. All right, so let's see. Portia said, possible sell setting up for the 10-minute US 30. Fingers crossed. Yeah, no, definitely. I could see it dropping. Nice. Yeah, C6 said that he posted an analysis last night. I think I saw that in the premium as well. Lloyd mentioned, I realize you normally do mark up on the 4-hour for Forex pair, Shawn. Yeah, for Forex, I mark up on the 4-hour. For indices, I mark up on the 1-hour because they move differently and they move faster. So that's why I use different time frames when I mark up different assets. JKX asking for GU. So I already did GU earlier. JKX, I'll go back to it once I'm done. So I'll just add you to the list. JKX for GBP USD. All right, let me see if there's anything else here real quick before I continue on. Marcus said, so Shawn, what US 30 trade do you have running? Was it the daily? Yeah, it's still a daily entry. It's still running on there right now. Caparo said, I think the Euro CHF broke the 4-hour downtrend channel. If it holds, maybe a nice buy. So I'll add you to the list too, Caparos. So Caparos is asking about Euro CHF. Steven said, think I'm going to close early. Yeah, you guys can close your trades early if you want. Like I mentioned, it's going to get risky once it reaches 9 o'clock, because at 9 o'clock, that's when the Fed speaks, and whatever they say can easily spike price up or down. Like they'll spike it up, they'll spike it down. Who knows, what will happen once they actually speak. And this is why we usually try not to trade off news days, like big news days like today. But this week has been so good so far that we decided to take that risk. And like I mentioned, you guys got to take risks. Like you guys can't be trading too careful like all the time. Like I'm pretty conservative with my trades, but if I feel like we should probably take some risks, that's when I take trades. And that's why I traded today, and I ended up taking a loss, but it's all good. It's just one loss. Let's see if there's anything else right here before we continue. Monster FX is asking, does that mean we'll have to take trades on the US 30 after an hour? Probably, Monster. I mean, if you want to take trades, you can take trades as much as you want, but that's going to be up to your own discretion. I'm not going to be taking any trades up until after the what's called, until the Fed's done speaking. Let's see. Lloyd said, make sure the peeps liking this stream. Least we can do, bro. Yeah, no, definitely. If you guys haven't already, you guys can. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like this stream, go ahead and like it. If you don't like, if you're not pulling any value from this, go ahead and dislike it. That's cool, because then YouTube won't show you my videos anymore, and that's completely fine with me. So yeah, you guys can either like or dislike the video. It's up to you guys, whatever you guys want to do. It doesn't make a difference. But if you guys do dislike the video, YouTube's not going to show you my videos anymore. So that's completely fine with me too. So it's really up to you guys if you want YouTube to show you my videos or not show you my videos. Either way, we'll still be going live every morning. But yeah, thanks for reminding me, Lloyd. And Sharul mentioned for Forex, he uses Wickstone Live strategy. For US 30, I use K² strategy. Nice, dude. Yeah. And there's no one way to trade, guys. So just keep in mind that, like, you know, I'm not like, the way I trade isn't the only way to trade. You guys can learn from anybody you want. You can apply any strategy that you guys like. There's really no one way to trade. As long as it works for you and you're profitable, then use that strategy. You know, if my strategy works for you, then use my strategy. If someone else's strategy works for you, then use that. You know, there's really no right or wrong way to trade. As long as you're profitable, that's all that really matters. Sam's asking, can you explain Josh's strategy? So that's a question for Josh, Sam, because it's not my strategy. So I haven't even talked to Josh about it yet. So yeah, Josh is right there in the chat if you want to message him, because it's not my strategy. If it was a K² strategy, then yeah, I could explain it to you. But it's not necessarily one that I know yet, because me and Josh haven't even met to talk about that strategy yet. I think we're meeting on Thursday. Check my calendar. Let's see. Check the calendar real quick. Yeah, so I think me and Josh are meeting on Thursday. Yeah, so me and Josh are meeting on Thursday at 6. So we'll talk about the strategy then, and then we will we'll figure out, you know, how we're going to introduce the strategy to you guys. Because this strategy is just, you know, it definitely works. It's just there's going to be other factors that we need to factor in when taking it. Yeah, like this right here. These are a couple of scalps that I probably would have wanted to take. Yeah, damn, there's some pretty good entries here. Josh, if we just stuck to yours, dude. Yeah, they all would have hit actually. Yeah, but we'll see where it plays out, guys. So anyways, going back to the questions, let me see what we have next. We have Euro CAD for short scene. So at this point, guys, since Powell's going to be speaking, I'll just be answering questions for this point until he's done speaking, so that we can take more scalps. So if you guys have questions, just put them in the YouTube chat, and then I can analyze any pair for you, or I can answer any questions that you guys have. And these questions could be about risk management, it could be about FTMO, it could be about anything really. Just drop your questions in the chat, and I can answer them for you. Since we have some free time right now, because I'm not planning on taking any trades during a speech. So anyways, looking at Euro CAD right here, let me just delete everything off the chart. Zoom out from this point. So here's the naked chart. First thing I do, like I mentioned, is I turn on the K² SR indicator to identify market structure. So from this set right here, I'm going to go ahead and draw my zone right there. I'm going to draw my zone right there. Draw my zone right over here. Over here as well. Down there. Down there. And these zones are kind of relevant because price is so down, it's so far below. So I'm just drawing them there for reference, but they're not really going to be very useful to us right now. So anyways, once I have that drawn up, I'm going to go ahead and identify market structure, right? So you can see that price broke into the structure, or into this area right here, on January 13th of this year. It swung back up, then dropped back in on February 2nd. So from February 2nd up until now, price has been within this area right here, right? So the next thing that that I do from this point is I turn on the momentum indicator. So with that said, we identify the direction of momentum. So for example, here we have a pending sell signal right here, right? You can see that price kind of did like a break and retest right here, where price broke structure. It swung back up, and then now it's attempting to swing back down. So like with this set right here, if this ends up closing with the sell signal right here, then our bias changes from a buy to a sell. So for example, right here, we have a rejection off this point. We have the sell signal right here. Now all we're looking for is for price to break and close past this structure right here. So once it closes below here, we can possibly take a sell entry for Euro CAD, right there. But until this closes, there's not, well, it would have to close and it would have to close below here. Until this closes right here, there's not going to be an entry, right? The same setup right here that we're looking at happened over here as well. So we have the rejection from this point. We have the sell signal right here. It broke and closed past the structure, right? Once that happened, it closed below here. Same situation over here. Price broke and closed past the structure right here. So as you can see, obviously there's a bunch of entries that could have been taken right here. So right there, full TP, right? Again, right here, price broke and closed past the structure. What happened right there again? Full TP, right? So it's the same setup that we're looking for here. We're just waiting for this to break and close past the structure right here. And then once that happens, we can take a sell. But until that happens, short scene, there's just not really much for us to really look at right now. It looks like there was possibly a buy right here. So, I mean, if you took this buy right here, I don't know if like you would have taken some profit off it, or if you ended up, taking a loss off, because this is one scenario. Scenario one is we get the sell signal right here and it closes below. Scenario number two is if this candle right here doesn't close with this buy signal, this can easily swing back up over here and close above here and provide for a buy entry. So there's two different scenarios that can play out for Euro CAD. One thing that we can look at to identify, any other confluences is we can look at the index over here. So we can look at the EXY, which is the European index. Right here is the EXY, and this is going to be the Canadian index over here, CXY. So looking at this right here, you can see that the euro is weak right now, right? It's weak and it's pushing down. The Canadian index is actually pushing up right now. So it's below, but it's trying to push upward. So it's bullish on this one and it's bearish on this one. So with this said, this indicates that the euro is weaker than the Canadian dollar. So with that said, if that becomes the case, then price is likely to head downwards from here. Because when price is going down, that means that the second currency is stronger than the first. And when price is going up, that means that the first currency is stronger than the second. So looking at these indexes here, if this continues to drop further, this means the euro is weak. If this continues to push up, this means that the Canadian dollar is strong. So with that said, if that continues on like how it's currently moving, then we could probably expect this to continue dropping. And if that becomes the case, then we change to a sell bias and we wait for price to close below the structure. Once that happens, you take a sell, and there you go. So that's pretty much it for this right here. So that's Euro CAD. Let me see if there's anything else before we continue on. Let's see. The next question is S&P for Memarine. So let me see if there's any other questions before we continue on. And then we can continue. Let's see. So let's see. Short Scene's asking FTMO passing. Any tips? So Short Scene, I think the main thing with FTMO is just consistency, right? Consistency and proper risk management. Because in reality, guys, if you break it down to what you really need to follow, it's just you need a 10% risk, right? So if you can make 1% risk per day, you have technically 30 days to trade. So if you can at least make a 1% risk growth per day, then you can easily pass it. And one thing that I recommend doing when you're trading, for FTMO, what I only trade is US 30. So the thing is, you have to understand your risk per trade. So for me, every trade that I take is, so I'm going to try to break it down. Okay. So for US 30 for the scalps, we're going for 500 pips, right? And for 500 pips, I'm trading maybe a 2 lot. So times 2, it's gonna be $2 per pip. I'm making about 1,000 per trade. Your goal for this is going to be reaching 10,000, right? 10,000 is going to be your 10% gain. And that's what you need to pass the challenge. So with that said, you divide that by 1,000. Reality, you only need 10 scalps to win, right? You literally only need 10 scalps to pass your FTMO. So looking at the results from last week, you can see how many wins we had for US 30, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we had 10 wins last week for US 30. So if you took every trade that I called during the live session last week, you should have passed your FTMO by now. Or if you traded it on your own, you should have, either passed it or got close to passing it. So in reality, it's just consistency, guys. Like even if you were to take a loss, like for example, you have 10 wins here, and then today we have our first loss in the past 2 weeks. So with that said, if you have like, so 500 pips times 2, which is 1,000, sorry. So 500 pips times 2, which should be 1,000 profit per trade. If you take, we had 10 wins last week, or actually there was, actually, like I was saying, there was 9 wins for the scalps right here. So 500 pips is a scalp move. Those are 9 wins. So that times 9. And then the full TP here for this this full move right here is actually 3 of them. So that's plus 3,000. So in reality, you would have made like about 12,000 last week if you took all of my US 30 trades. And then today we had one loss, which was, it'd be like $1,000 loss. So overall, if you took every trade that I called last week and then you took this loss today, you'd still be net positive 11,000, and that'd be enough to pass your challenge, right? So my main word of advice for FTMO to pass it is consistency, right? Use the same lot size or use proper risk every time, like 1 to 3, not even 3%, only like 1% is probably good. So maybe 1% per trade, and then you should be good. Because if you think about it, if your account is 100K, 100,000, right? If your account is 100,000, 1% of that's 1,000. So as long as you take one scalp and it wins every day, that's like 1% increase for you. So that's my main word of advice for FTMO. It's consistency and sticking to your plan. Don't jump from like 1 lot size to 2 lot size to 10 lot size. Like if you keep doing that, you're not going to be consistent, and you can end up losing when you have a bigger lot size versus when you have a smaller lot size. So just keep that in mind. Here, let's see. Buyu is asking for GU. So I already looked at GU earlier, but I'll look at it later. So I have the same question for JK. So I'll take a look at GU after I'm done with the other questions. Let me just scroll up real quick and see what else we got here. So Funky wants me to take a look at your USD. All right, cool. So yeah, so looking at this here, we have, sorry, my dog's barking. So I muted myself. All right, he's good. All right, anyway, so like the list that I have right now is I have S&P for Memmarine, I have Euro NZD for short scene, I got GU for both JKICS and Buyu. I have Euro CHF for Caparos, and then I have Euro USD for Funke. So other than that, let's take a look. Yeah, Bilal is saying that US 30 is moving. Yeah, because I think he's speaking now. So Pal is speaking right now. Let me see if I could find his stream. Yeah, so you're gonna expect a lot of volatility right now. This is why I'm not trading right now at this point, because price is gonna move kind of crazy. What is today? 23rd. Let's see. So Powell is about to speak right now. I'm just going to turn on some subtitles, see what they're talking about right now. Yeah, so the Fed Reserve, yeah, I mean, they're gonna push price around a lot. I think price is gonna spike around a lot because the actual Fed is gonna be speaking to the House Committee on Financial Services. Representative Peter McCurney is speaking right now, McHenry. So we'll see how this affects the market. I'm not gonna really bother with it. I'll just have the subtitles on. I'll be watching it from my side over here, and then I'll take a look shortly. All right, so I'll keep checking on it. They are speaking right now. That's why price is going to move around kind of crazy. So looking at US 30 over here, wow, look at this big spike. So huge spikes right now. Expect a lot of spikes throughout the session. So if you guys want to close out in the negative right now, you guys can. If you want to hang on to it, you guys can hang on to it. I'm probably just gonna hang on to it because I'm already far in the negative anyways. So I might as well just let it run. Because like I mentioned, guys, I'm using proper risk. So if I lose this trade, it's fine. It's not a big deal to me because I'll bounce back on the next trade. So I'd rather just take my risks and I'll hold on to it. Hit stop loss, it's cool. I'm gonna move on to the next one, and then I'll just bounce back because this is only gonna take like 1 or 2 wins for me to bounce back from it, and we're probably gonna have those wins anyways. So I'm not too worried about it. Anyways, going back to what I was looking at earlier, the next question is SPX 500 for memory. So let me pull up the SPX real quick. So we got this right here, go on the 1 hour. Zoom out from this point, and I'll draw my market structure for you guys. All right, so we got a zone up here. Got a zone down here. Zone right here. Zone right there. Zone right there, and down here. All right, so looking at the SPX right here, I'm gonna turn off the K2SR indicator. And with that said, we have our market structure drawn. So you can see right here, price broke above the structure in March, then it came back down, broke below here, then jumped. And then from right here, it broke back into this market structure on March 10th. So for the past 2 weeks, price has been within this area right here, right? So this is where we can identify, you know, where price is going to likely be moving. So I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. Looks like we have a bullish signal right there. Rejection from this point. Buy signal right here. And then you can see that price attempted to test the upper structure right there. So price attempted to test the upper structure right there, but it came back down for a break and retest. So price came up, retested the structure. At this point right here, this is going to be tricky. So this is going to be tricky for one, because the Fed is speaking. They can spike price either way. So this can either spike back up from here, or it can break back below here and drop. Right? Not necessarily something that I recommend anyone hop into right now. But this is basically what could happen from this point. It's currently at the structure, so price can either shoot up or it can shoot down. We really don't know what could happen from here. So looking at this over here, yeah, this could probably screw up the market, honestly, like, because like it's hard for us to really analyze what's going to happen from now and then an hour from now, because this can easily spike down or spike up, and then from there it'll either recover or it'll spike around in the other direction. So we'll see what ends up happening from this point right here. But yeah, looking at the S&P, it looks like overall it's just consolidating right here within this area. So it's just going sideways within this area right here. If I take off this zone right here and this zone right here, you can see that price is just bouncing between this area, right? So until price breaks, you know, above here or below here. So above here, that'd be, you know, we'd look for some buys. If it closes below here, then we'll take some sells, right? So until this happens right here, I probably wouldn't look at this from a bigger perspective, because there's just too many possibilities that can play out. Like generally, I like to have at least like 2 scenarios that can play out, but in reality here, there's a lot of scenarios that can play out, because price can bounce up from here. That's scenario number 1. And then we take a buy from this point. Scenario number 2 is it bounces down from here and we take a sell. But on top of that, because the Fed is speaking right now, price can do this. It can kind of fake you out. It can come up, close above here, and then swing all the way back down, right? And just correct back to where it was supposed to be. So that's why I think for this right now, it's just too risky to really take anything at this time, because of the Fed. We really don't know what the Fed's going to say. You know, Powell didn't even start speaking yet. He's still Republican. McHenry is still speaking, or Representative McHenry is speaking right now. So they're going back and forth between the different representatives. So depending on who says something, and there's Yellen right there. Like, she could put like this, everyone can push the market like pretty heavily. So these are pretty big players in the Fed. It's not just Powell that's like causing price to go up and down. There's a lot of other representatives that can push price either way as well. So I wouldn't really mess with it right now. Memorine, I would just wait for it to smoothen out and then see where price goes from there. So here's SPX. This is something that's going to be heavily affected by what they're saying during the announcements today. So this might just stay frozen for a bit. It might just stay sideways, and then it'll probably spike once they say something that affects the market. So this is it on the 1 hour. Then I'll go on the 10-minute, and I'll show you my analysis on there. Analysis is probably gonna be even messier because of the spikes in price today. So let me just draw my zones real quick off here on the 10-minute, so we can identify if there was any scalps around this area. But even if there were scalps around this area, they're not scalps that I necessarily would take, because obviously the market is bouncing back and forth right now. It's not really worth the risk until the Fed is done speaking. So yeah, with this set right here, it looks like, I mean, there's a lot of different moves that are happening right here. Here, let's see. Because obviously you can see prices just bouncing back and forth, right? This is like, if you look at this right here, let me just show you real quick. Huge wick right here, right? Like if you look at this this one red candle right here, you can see how big of a wick this is, right? So if I just stretch this out a little bit, see how big this wick is right here? It's just showing that price is spiking back and forth. Because like this whole candle right here it's a lot. It's 1,280 pips. So big spike right there. I wouldn't mess with it. It's just too risky. Looking over here for like before all this craziness happened. Let's see. Well, the market's been crazy since this morning, but if you took trades last night, so like from London session right here, this is what you'd be looking for these scalps. You're looking for a wick rejection off the pivot and structure. If you took any of these trades here, these would have hit full TP, obviously. Trading over here, though, this is where it becomes risky because price is bouncing back and forth so erratically, right? You'll see price spike up right here for how many pips? It goes from down here up to here, almost 2,000 pips. And then from there, in like 10 or 20 minutes, it spikes back down 2,000 pips. And then from that point, it spikes all the way back up for another 2,000 pips. So like when you're looking at these trades here, this is just too risky for you to really want to take anything. I would recommend just sitting out of the market until the Fed's done speaking. We still have our US 30 position running right now. I currently still have it active. I'm really not gonna. I mean, I'm in so much of a negative already, where I'm just gonna eat the loss if it ends up hitting stop loss. But if it ends up dropping, that's fine too, because then it'll just bounce back, right? Because I already understand my risk at this point. I know if I hit stop loss, I'm going to be fine. I'll probably sit out the rest of the day and just trade tomorrow, because the market today is just too screwed up. So, this is what I mean about using proper risk. Like for me, I'm fine taking this loss here. If it ends up hitting stop loss, I'm fine, because I can bounce back tomorrow. And that's why I just hold on to the trade, because at this point, I'm so far in the negative where I might as well just eat the loss or attempt to hit the full TP down here. Because let's see, Uncle Powell might start speaking in a second, Uncle J Powell, and he might just be like, oh, Mark, the economy is going to suck for like the next year, and this is just going to come crashing down, right? So if he does that, it might be beneficial for us. So I see your question right there, short scene about US 30. I'm still holding it. I'm holding it. If I eat a loss, it's fine. I'm not really going to be it's not going to hurt me, because I took a decent lot size. So if I hit my stop loss, it's cool. I'm going to take a break for the day, and I might not trade, until tomorrow or until Asia session. And then I'll just bounce back. I'll take some scalps during Asia session. I'll recover those losses, and I'll be fine. But if it ends up pushing in our direction, then that's even more beneficial for us, because it's going to cover our loss for that earlier scalp. And then it's also going to give me some profit. So I'm still in it. If you guys want to hop out, you guys can. I've already accepted the risk. If it ends up hitting stop loss, I'm going to eat that loss. I'm just going to eat the loss and move on to the next one. Or if it pushes down in our direction, then that's completely fine because it just made up my loss for the day. So that's that's pretty much what I'm doing for that. And what I said about S&P right here, I wouldn't mess with S&P right now because there's like, you don't know what direction it's going to go in, right? Like I was mentioning for US 30, we don't know if it's going to go up and hit our stop loss or if it's going to come down and hit our TP. So I wouldn't recommend entering it if you're not already in it. I'm trapped in this trade right now, so I'm fine. I mean, I can't really do much at this point. I just gotta pray that it's going to come down. But other than that, that's how you're able to trade comfortably, right? If you're using proper risk, you probably wouldn't be stressed out or nervous about this trade because you already know your loss going in. Like when I entered this trade, I was like, all right, I'm going to accept like a $5,000 loss if I lose this trade. It's fine because I already knew what I was going to lose going into it. So there's no surprises, right? You're not like, oh crap, I lost more than I thought I was going to lose. Like when you go into the trade, you should already know what you're going to lose so that you're not scared when you enter it. So if you do lose, you can just eat that loss and move on to the next one. So that's it for S&P. Let's see if there's anything else that I can look at. So that's it for the S&P. The next step is Euro NZD for short scene. So let me check. David wants me to check out the Zimbabwe index. Let's see if I can find that. Do they have an index? I don't know. Let's see. Damn, that's crazy. Do they have an index for the death rate in Zimbabwe? So people trade off the death rate. That's insane. That's crazy. Why would they do that? Yeah, I guess people could trade off the confirmed number of COVID. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Or I don't know. I think that's for every country, right? It's not just Zimbabwe. No, it's for every. That's kind of weird that they would have this here. Why do they have this on TradingView? I guess people trade this, like the numbers of deaths. That's weird. I guess you could trade the number of recovered too. I remember when COVID first started, TradingView had this, but I didn't think they were going to keep continuing it with like all these different. Damn, I guess like I would see this for like binary options because binary options has like those scammy. They have those scammy things to trade, and yeah, I guess you could trade COVID rates too. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not messing with that. All right, so back to what I was looking at earlier. Let's see. All right, Wade. So we got Wavy Wade over here. Wants me to take a look at gold. CUSD. So first up, I got Euro NZD. I'm gonna look at that first. So we got Euro NZD right here for short scene. So I'll zoom out from this point, delete everything off the chart. Here's a naked chart. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna identify market structure. So to identify market structure, turn on the K2SRs. All right, so let me mark this up right here. Let's mark up our market structure for Euro NZD. Euro NZD had like some pretty big spikes yesterday. I don't know if you guys are following Euro NZD, but there was some news yesterday and it just spiked Euro NZD like crazy right here off these bigger spikes off that. David said he wants to trade JLo's engagements. So what do you think JLo's engagements are? Dave, you think they're bullish or are they bearish? Honestly, you guys can trade anything. I've seen stuff on binary options where you can trade like a whole lot of things. Like there's a lot of random things that you guys can trade on there. And the only reason I know that's because someone else mentioned it before. Like you can bet, you can like literally bet if it's going to rain in a country or not. Like in a certain country that rains a lot. crazy. You can literally bet on anything. All right, anyway, so looking at Euro NZD right here, enough with that. Yeah, so right here for Euro NZD, looks like price broke in structure right here on February 1st. It finally broke above it over here on March 22nd today, yesterday. So I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator to identify momentum. So like looking at this right here, it looks like price was consolidating for a bit before it shot up, right? So like right here, we have the rejection from this point below, right there. We have a buy signal right there. And we have a break and close past structure right here. So this is kind of tricky because this bullish move here happened because of the news yesterday. So looking at Euro NZD, I see price break structure right here. It's probably going to come back to retest the structure right here before it ends up, spiking up or swinging back down further. So with this set right here, short scene, it's kind of tricky. We have a bullish bias here, but I don't know how strong this is going to hold because this pushed up so heavily right here. You can see the last time price pushed up right here for Euro NZD, price pushed up and then it went into consolidation, right? So that might be what happens here. Price might have shot up and then it just might go into consolidation. So it can go into consolidation or it can continue pushing up. It's just, there's just really no direction that's necessarily been established just yet. Just because it shot up like that doesn't mean it's going to keep pushing up. What I could do next is I can pull up the indexes over here. So EXY, and then we have the ZXY for the New Zealand dollar index. And look at this big gap down here, right? So the New Zealand dollar gap down like so heavily right here. And then it looks like it's still dropping. So if you look at the EXY and the ZXY right here, this is the Euro index. This is the New Zealand dollar index. They're both bearish, right? So they're both dropping. With that said, what's probably going to happen here for EN is this is probably just going to go sideways until one of them starts shifting in the other direction. So this is probably what's going to happen for Euro NZD. It's probably just going to go sideways because these are both bearish right now. In order for this to go directional, in order for it to go up or for it to go down, we need one of these to go down and one of these to go up. So for example, here, if the EXY goes down and the ZXY goes up, that's going to indicate that the New Zealand dollar is stronger than the euro. So if that happens, then we could expect this to drop, right? Vice versa, if this ends up going up and this ends up going down, then we could expect Euro NZD to go up. Because when price is going up, that means that the first currency is stronger than the second. Vice versa, when price is going down, that means that the second currency is stronger than the first currency. So looking at these indexes here, they're both going down. So what I see happening with the Euro NZD is that it's just going to go sideways for a bit until a direction has been set for these two indexes here. So that's pretty much it for Euro NZD. Let's see, the next question was GU for J Kicks and Boyo. So for you guys here, I already analyzed GU, so I'm just going to show you guys what I analyzed earlier. I'm just going to re-pull it up. So right here for GU, this is basically what we marked up. We identified this rejection point from up here. There's a sell signal right here. So we have a sell bias, right? With a sell signal, we're only looking for sells. So we have a rejection, sell signal. Right here, we're just waiting for price to break and close past structure. So once price breaks and closes past structure right here, then you can enter a sell and then ride this down to this next structure down here. After that, you can wait for price to break and close past this structure right here and then ride it down even further. But yeah, just looking at GU right here, we have a sell bias, and that's pretty much what we're waiting for at this point. Let's see. Caparo said, never mind about Euro CHF. All right, no problem, Caparo. So we're good with that. Yeah, exactly. So like looking at the chat right here, like what CT mentioned, he said that prop bets at casinos, like literally you guys can gamble, like people gamble for like so many other things. It's Sam's asking about Markle Crown. What's Markle Crown? Sorry, Sam, I'm not familiar with those terms. What's Markle? Let me check. Sorry, I have no idea what. Yeah, I have no idea what that means, Sam. If you could confirm it, I'm sure it's slang for something, right? I'm thinking crown is going to be GBP. Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Good one, guys. I was confused. I was like, what the hell's a Markle? Yeah, no, it makes sense now. Okay, that makes sense. Anyways, let me scroll up real quick and see what you guys were looking at over here. Yeah, so going back to US 30, guys, like I mentioned, it's just going to keep bouncing back and forth, right? It's just going to keep bouncing. So like for me, I already accepted the loss. If it hit stop loss, I already accepted it, whatever. But if it comes down, then better yet, right? So I'm all right with that. Anyways, back to what I was looking at earlier. Yeah, it looks like US 30 is about to dump. Well, we'll see what's going on over here. All right. All right, cool, guys. So I'm seeing a lot of messages. So sorry, guys. I did put my phone away, so I haven't looked at any of your messages right now on Telegram. But going back to what I was looking at earlier, let me scroll down real quick. All right, next question is from here. Let's see. Funky wants me to take a look at Euro USD. Euro USD is probably gonna be the same as GU, but I'll analyze it for you guys anyways. So here's Euro USD. I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything off the chart. Turn this off right here. Zoom out from this point. So guys, looking at this right here, this is pretty much what a naked chart. First thing I do is identify market structure using the K²SR indicator. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this right here. And when the zones overlap, guys, I just draw one big zone. So instead of just having, instead of drawing like a bunch of small zones, I just overlap the zones and merge them together. So there we go with that. That right there. That right there. Perfect. So we're good with this right here. And you can see here that price broke into this market structure right here on January 10th, came down, swung back up, tried to break above it, then it swung right back below on February 28th. So pretty much since January, it's been within this area. So we can zoom in a little bit to see where price has been moving. So within this area right here, I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. We do have a sell momentum right there. So if this closes right here, then this would provide for a sell entry. So for example, right here, we have a double top, rejection off that structure, rejection off that structure right here, double top right there. We have a sell signal right here. Once we got that, it ended up, hitting this point right here. And then from this point right here, we have a price swinging back up and then closing below here. So as you can see, the pattern just keeps repeating itself, right? Rejection, sell signal, drop to the next structure, rejection, sell signal, drop to the next structure, rejection, sell signal. And if this closes right here, what do you guys think is going to happen? This is probably going to push down to the next structure right here, right? So this is basically what we're looking for right here for Euro USD as well. So same setup with GU over here, Funke. Basically, if this closes below here, then we can expect it to drop because the same pattern played out over here, right? So for example, right here, we had a rejection from up here. We had a sell signal right here. As soon as it broke and closed past structure right here, it dumped, right? It dumped to this next structure down here. Same situation over here. We had a close below the structure and then it dumped down to this next structure right here. So this is pretty much what we see happening. Same situation over here. If it ends up closing below there, it'll probably test the structure. And then if it ends up closing below here, that's another drop right there. Another sell right there as well. So just keep that in mind, guys. Looking at this here, this is pretty much what we see happening from this point on. So we're just going to wait for this to close. This candle closes in about 25 minutes. Once it closes, we can determine whether we want to take a sell right here for a small little scalp, which is possible. Let's see. It's not a big move. It's like 20 pips, but I mean, it is it's a move still. So if you guys would want to take this trade, that'd be the small move there. I personally would wait for it to close below, this structure right here. If it closed below here, then it's going to be a bigger opportunity. So let's go back to US 30 real quick. There we go. It's trying to dump back down. So like I was saying earlier, guys, this is probably what's going to happen right here. So this is why I told you guys not to trade like right before he spoke, right? Because look at this right here. This would have stopped you out. And then again, right here, this would have stopped you out because price is just choppy. It's back and forth. Looks like it's starting to find its direction again, and it's starting to swing back down from here. I wish I would have taken this trade. If there was no news right now, I would have taken the trade. But the Fed's still speaking right now. So with the Fed speaking right now, there's just a lot of uncertainty in the market, as price can easily spike one way or the other. So this is probably going to drop. Anyway, so that's it for Euro USD right there. Let me see if there's any other questions. Wavy Wade wants me to take a look at gold real quick, so I can take a look at gold for you guys. Shortstein's asking, can you show how to use the mentor part of the FTMO account? Honestly, I don't even know what you're talking about, Shortstein. Let me check real quick. I've never seen that before, or I've never used it. I've probably seen it, but I've never used it before. Okay, let me see. Are you talking about the Mentor app? Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I've never used this before. Shortstein, so sorry, I can't help you with that specifically. It looks like we actually need the, I can't even download, yeah, because it's asking to because this thing, you need the actual MT4 platform. I don't have a MT4 platform because I trade on my Mac, so it's web-based. So I can't even like use the stuff that they have here, because it looks like you actually need the MT4 platform. So I've never used it before, so I have no opinion on it, and I can't really give you any recommendations for that. So sorry about that, Shortstein. I guess they probably set you up with someone and they give you advice to pass FTMO, or like what you can do differently. But I've never used it myself because I mean, I know how to trade on my own, so I don't really need it. So yeah, sorry, I don't know how that necessarily works since I've never used it before. All right, let me see what else is over here. So Shortstein said IG sentiment of US 30 shows it will drop. So let me check real quick. Is sentiment swinging up? Oh, I didn't realize they were still talking. So yeah, Representative Waters right now speaking. I'm hoping they say so many bad things about the economy just to have price drop. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. So let's check out the sentiment real quick. So yeah, I'm hoping Yellen says some bad things about the economy. Powell says something bad about the economy. Everyone. Okay, cool. So it looks like the sentiment is starting to increase for short sellers. So we'll see. I'm hoping it drops, guys. I'm hoping it drops because we need to recover from that little blow earlier, that little small scalp that we took that hit stop loss. I mean, it's cool because like if you guys look at it from today, we actually have one win. So we have one win from this morning, which was or actually I didn't share it with you guys here because I didn't call it. Oh, actually no, we did. So right here we have one win today. We have one win for 250 pips off this scalp right here. And then we have one loss from this one right here. So we're not even that far in the red right now because we're only half. We had 250 off this trade right here. We lost 500 off this one right here. So we're only negative 250. The next thing is going to be, this bigger move. If this ends up dropping down here and hits our TP, that's perfectly fine. That's going to be a win for us because then we'll be net positive for the day. So I'm not too worried about it. Whatever happens, happens. But I've already accepted the risk if it ends up not playing my direction. So other than that, Let me see what other question we had. Okay, for Wade, Wavy Wade wants me to take a look at gold. So let me pull up gold for you guys real quick. Gold right here. Actually, let me check real quick. CT sent me a chart for GJ. Let's see. Yeah, so CT said outside of fundamentals, I see US 30 consolidating here on the upper slope of volume, which is bullish. 10-minute looks like it could rise, in my opinion. Gosh, yeah. So that's CT's analysis for US 30 right there. Let's see. I don't know. We'll see how it moves. Let me see. I mean, yeah, honestly, it's been sloping for a bit, so we'll see how it moves with the pivots. But we've had like some big spikes right here, right? So these red candles right here just keep spiking off the pivot. So we'll see how it ends up playing, as it continues. I'm just hoping that the news, like something that the Fed says will cause it to drop, because that's probably our best hope right now, because price is so high up. It's gonna be hard for it to really drop farther down. So we'll see. If we do have a big spike, it's probably gonna be because of the news. But we'll see. I mean, it's still technically in a downtrend on the 10-minute, like the longer term picture of it. So, just looking at the longer picture of it, the bigger picture of it, this technically looks like it could still drop further. Looking from there, if I just turn this stuff off. So yeah, looking at it from here, I mean, technically it looks like it could still drop, but who knows, right? Who really knows? We really don't know what's going to happen from the news. Like, the news is going to say something that's going to pop, like spike price in our direction or not. But I'm hoping it does. That's going to be to our benefit if it ends up dropping that way. Yeah, Ryan mentioned the Fed chat is just questions now. I'm not sure if anything meaningful will going to come out to warrant a drastic change. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Well, this is what happens sometimes, Ryan. Like, sometimes we'll have like the market will react later. So what people are doing sometimes is they're like waiting for market to react to, like, for price to react to what was discussed like an hour ago. And sometimes it just has a late reaction where just like all of a sudden it just has a huge spike down. So I don't think anything's going to happen off like what's happening right now. If like that's what's happening, what you mentioned, Ryan, if they're just asking questions, but the spike down could happen from like what they talked about like 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, and price is just reacting. It's having a late reaction to it. So honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, but if it drops down, that's perfect, because I just wanted to drop down to at least hit our TP1. I wanted to at least hit this right here, because like what David was saying, his liquidity zone is right here. So if price ends up reaching this point right here, then we can expect a big spike down, or like a huge volatility push even further down. So we'll see. But like I was mentioning before, we really don't know how price is going to react to the news. So anyways, back to gold over here. I'm going to delete everything off the chart, and then I'll analyze this for Wavy Wade. So basically right here, first thing I'm going to do is turn on the K2SR indicator to identify market structure, and then I will draw my zones for you guys. So you guys can see that the same analysis that I do for Forex works for indices, and it also works for commodities as well. So it just really depends on what you plan on trading. But the same way that I analyze pairs works the same way for, whatever you want to trade. Like, even though I don't trade gold at all, I give you guys gold analysis like almost every session, and it plays out almost every session. So I'm thinking about maybe getting back into gold and possibly trade it here and there, because my analysis for gold generally plays out pretty decently. It's pretty on point with it. For the most part. So it'd make more sense for me to actually trade it, right? Since I actually know how to analyze it properly. So anyways, looking at gold here, we have price pretty much broke into this market structure right here. It just went sideways for a long time right here. And then it finally dropped from this point. came back up, then dropped, came back up, then dropped, and then now it's just consolidating. So you can see from this point right here, price has literally just been consolidating within this this area right here for quite some time now. So if I take this off, this zone, you can see that price has literally just been going sideways since March 15th. So for about 2 weeks now, gold has just been going sideways right there. I'm pretty sure we have a sell bias right here because it looks like a sell signal is probably developing right there, which it is. And that's how, like, because guys, just reminder, I created these indicators so I know when the momentum's coming that direction, and that's why I was able to identify that it was there before I even turned on the indicator. So anyways, we have a rejection from this point right here. We have a pending sell signal right here. What I'd be waiting for is for price to close below this structure right here. Once it closes below the structure right here, then I would take it for a sell right down there, right? Same situation right here. It's the same setup, rejection from this point. So rejection, rejection, sell signal, right? Rejection, rejection, sell signal, sell signal. And as soon as price broke and closed past the structure, like what we're waiting for right here, it ended up pushing to the next structure right below down here, right? And that's pretty much what we'll be looking for. So this is the same setup that happened right here on March 11th, about a week ago. We're waiting for it to play out again right here today or tomorrow. So when that happens and it ends up closing below here, we can take a sell there and just pretty much ride this down to the next structure down here. So that's pretty much it for that right there. Other than that, that's my analysis for gold. So I think that's it right now for all the questions. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it. Next thing on my list is I'm going to look at the rest of the Forex pairs here. I'm going to look for any possible entries that we can take before we call it a day. So it's about to be 10. The Fed is still speaking right now. Yeah, so they're still answering questions and asking questions. So I don't think we're going to have any more trades until they're done. So I think we might be calling it a session right now. Unfortunately, we had that one scalp loss, but I just remember that we had the first scalp win before that. So in reality, guys, our losses for today are not that heavy. They're like actually really small. If you took every trade that I was talking about this morning. So let me just check this real quick. I just need to see if there's any possible entries here, because I know some of you guys don't really trade indices with this. You guys are more of on the Forex side, which is cool. It's just the Forex market hasn't really been moving much for the past 2 weeks. It's been kind of slow. So I know it's kind of difficult for us to really find something that's worth taking. If anything, I might look for some scalp entries for you guys here if I don't see anything on these 4-hour charts. Here, let's see. Yeah, because I think the scalp entries are probably going to be a lot safer for us to really focus on right now, because obviously you can see here that there's a lot of reversals that keep happening for a lot of these pairs here. And they're like random reversals too. Like for Euro NZD right here, I would have wanted to call this for a buy, but it looks like price is probably going to come down, retest the structure before it either comes up or continues down further. So let's see. Yeah, there really isn't too much for us to take here. This is a possible entry for GU, but the only problem is that it's not really a big move. It's not really worth the risk, but I might call it anyways for you guys. So let me just mark that right there. This is a possible entry right here too, but it's also a risky move as well. So I do have these marked up here, but they're all kind of risky moves for the most part. And like I mentioned, I don't like calling trades that are too risky for you guys, because I want to call winners for you guys. I don't necessarily want to call random. Like I don't want to force these signals just because you guys want signals, right? I want to make sure that when I call a trade, it's a good trade and I want it to win. Because I don't like losing. If you guys see how I trade every day, I'm like very careful about what I call. Today I was a little riskier than I normally am, but it's fine. Sometimes there's times where you just want to be risky. as long as you don't do it too much. Like for today, this is a risky day that I probably shouldn't have traded, but you know, I felt comfortable, and that's why I took the trade, and that's why we went through with it. Because you guys got to take risks. Like you guys can't be overly careful every time. There's got to be some times where you got to be risky. Like last week, you know, last week we took a bunch of trades and we made a lot of profit, and that was because I was trading risky. So anyways, that's it for this right here. Let me just go and check the I'm gonna look for some scalps now, because it doesn't look like there's really much for us to really take on there. So let me go on the 30-minute over here. I'm gonna go to the Forex pairs now. Oh man, look, there's some entries right here. Damn, this would have been good. So yeah, dang, there's a lot of entries right here actually. Odd CAD. So maybe we should focus on some scalps now. So maybe I won't be looking on the intraday for the 4-hour anymore for time being, because damn, looks like there's a lot of scalps here that we could have taken for odd CAD. Huge zone right there. Yeah, there's a lot of profit that could have been made right here if we were focused on these scalps. So as you guys can see right here, there's a lot of entries right here. All these wick rejections off the pivot and structure. If you took any of these trades right here, full TP off that, like literally there's like so many entries that are available right here for this. Let me check. CT mentioned GJ. See, CT said GJ right here. So CT, are you looking at it for a buy or a sell? I'm trying to figure out what you marked up right there. Because it looks like, I mean, your measurement's above, so I'm assuming you're looking at it for a buy, right? So let me pull up GJ real quick. Because it looks like a sell to me, but I don't know if it, you know, if it's just a buy on your end or if I'm wrong, who knows? Buy? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you're looking at it from a buy. I mean, on my 4-hour, it looks like it's a sell, but let me check real quick. Let's check the BXY for the pound index, and then JXY for the Japanese index. Yeah, because right here, I don't know, for in my perspective, it looks like the yen is up and the pound is down. So if that becomes the case, then I could probably expect it to drop even further, CT. But who knows? You know, you might be right. I could be wrong. Who knows? But yeah, we have opposite analysis for GJ right now, which is fine. I mean, it's good to have opposite analysis because we're both looking from different perspectives. But anyways, back to these Forex pairs right here. Yeah, there's a bunch of entries here that you guys could have taken for a sell. So let me just skim through these real quick. Actually, I'm going to look at the ones that actually move, like OJPY. I'm not going to go look at the ones that barely move. Damn, there's a lot of scalps here that you guys could have taken off OJPY. I think this is what Sisuk took earlier. So looking at this right here, actually, there's no entry there. There's no rejection off the pivots, just off the structure. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're looking at it from volume. No, that makes sense, CT. Yeah, no, definitely. That could probably play out if that becomes a case, but we'll see. Maybe we catch some scalps in between. So looking at odd NZD right here, if you guys caught this scalp earlier today, nice scalp right there. So there's a bunch of entries right here for these scalps. There's like 4 entries right there. Where this green candle, these 3 green candles, this 4 green candles actually, they all touch the pivot and the structure. So with that said, you would have taken a long position right here, full TP for like 30 pips, and you could have ran it like 2 or 3 times right there. So let me see if I find any more scalps for you guys to take right now, so that I could send you guys off with at least one decent trade before we log off. Because, you know, guys, that's my main goal here. Like literally, I don't really, I go on this for you guys. Like I literally come on here to answer your guys' questions and then just show you guys how I trade live. Because like trading shouldn't be that difficult. I feel like a lot of people come to K2 and they learn trading from someone else, and they come in so like with such a complicated thought process. So like I'm trying to simplify it for you guys so that you guys can actually understand what you're doing and feel confident about your trades. It's all about confidence when you trade. because there's a million ways to trade. A million ways to trade. The main thing is that you actually feel good about your trades and you actually know what you're doing. Let's see. Nothing there. Not really much there. So I'm just going to zoom through these real quick. We have about 5 minutes, so I don't want to waste too much time looking at what happened already. I want to see what's going to happen, or like if there's anything that we could possibly take right now for you guys here. So a couple entries available right here, but it looks like we may have missed it. Looks like it came up about 30 minutes ago or so. Yeah, there's a couple entries here for EJ, this green one. Actually, there's like 3 green ones right here. There's like 3 entries right here that are available, or that were available right here. Short positions all around. So EN over here. Let's see if I find anything. And I'm just using the K² Snipe Strategy, guys. That's what I'm looking for here on the 30-minute. Nothing really out of the usual. It's just K² Snipe Strategy applied for Forex on the 30-minute. All right. Some choppiness right there, so no entries. This looks like it could be an entry right here. That one. Could be a possible late entry right here for GCAD. Here, let me see. I call this for you guys right here. Probably be a small move though. That's the downside to these scalps. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it could be a quick scalp, 15 pips. So we'll mark that up real quick. Mark with a different color, like purple. Let's see. GBPCHF. Possible entry here for GBPCHF. Turn that off. Actually, let me see what this is going right here. No, not really much there. Possible long entry right here. We'll see. Yeah, guys, just a reminder, the Fed is still speaking. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, these guys are still speaking right now. They've been speaking for an hour already. So Representative Sherman speaking right now. They're just, I guess they're chatting and answering questions right now. So it's probably not going to have a huge impact on the market, but it's all good. I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any scalps here real quick. Price is so far off that it doesn't look like there's anything for us to really take at the specific moment. I want to check if the Fed's speaking tomorrow. Damn, yeah, they're speaking again tomorrow. So he's speaking tomorrow earlier in the morning at 7. So that's perfectly fine because then we can start trading after it. So just hopefully like when they speak tomorrow, it doesn't shake up the market as much as it did today. But it doesn't look like there's any entries that are available just yet. I don't see anything for the NZD right now either. Jeffrey, I don't really see anything right now. There's an entry here for NZD CHF for a sell. but it's too late to enter that already. It's in profit. Nothing there. Yeah, it looks like price has moved around too heavily where there's not really much for us to take at this specific time. But let me see. Draw this from up here to down here. Or actually, there's an entry that's available right here, it looks like, for USD CAD. I might call this for you guys, possibly. It's a US 30 signal. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there was an entry that was possibly available right here, but it's kind of too late to enter it for USD CAD. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much. I mean, Jeffrey said, yeah, I missed them all. Yeah, well, I mean, this whole morning was, there was heavy news this morning, Jeffrey, so you probably were better off not risking it. I mean, you could have risked it and gotten lucky, but you know, with the news this morning, with the Fed speaking, like literally anything could happen. That's why for us, we've been pretty careful this morning. I didn't realize it was going to be a heavy news week. I thought last week it was done, but this week it just continued on further and further. Because we took a US 30 trade, and you know, we probably shouldn't have taken it because of the news, but here we are. We're still in the trade. All right, guys. So I don't really see much worth taking right now for like anything really, because they're still speaking right now. So until they're done speaking, we're probably not going to have much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to log off for a bit, take a break, because I've been on the session for almost 4 hours now. And then we will probably, I'll probably look for some more scalps for you guys a little later. But I think right now it's just stuff just seems way too risky. I don't know if there's anything that we should really take. Like G over here doesn't look safe. USD, CHF. This might be a decent entry, but we'll see. I don't really see the US dollar being that strong. Let me just check real quick. Check the index, DXY. SXY. Where's the SXY at? Oh, there it is. All right, so the dollar's strong and the CHF is weak. So this might be a decent entry here. So I'll call this for you guys in the premium. So for you guys that are here in the premium, I will call that trade for you guys right here. This is 40 pips. Nothing too crazy. This is just to get you guys, get your feet wet, because I know a lot of you guys are like waiting to enter some trades this week. And we've just been like extra careful because of the Fed, which is all good. Sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry, guys. And guys, if you guys take this trade, remember to use the exit strategy, right? I give you guys the exit strategy for a reason. It's not there for you guys to ignore it. It's for you guys to actually use it. Because with the current market conditions, there's oops, there. Yeah, with the current market conditions, there's just a lot of uncertainty. So I'll give that to you guys for now, and I'll probably look at the charts for over the next hour once they're done speaking. And then we can start looking for some more possible scalps. So this is going to be TP1 plus 10, TP2 20. And then I'll go over the trades that people took today real quick before we log off for the day. And I'll be back live later today for, I think I have a mentoring session at around 6 p.m. I don't know if it's going to be public. I'll have to ask the person that set it up if they're okay with it being public. And then I'll probably send you guys a link if they do. So guys, just a reminder, I usually don't post the links for the mentoring session. So if you guys want to sit in on my mentoring sessions where I sit one-on-one with one of the K2 members, just make sure to like this stream, follow the YouTube channel, and turn on notifications so that YouTube knows that you want to watch my videos. Because if you don't let them know, they're not going to show you my videos, right? So you have to let YouTube know. And then every time I go live about 3 or 5 times a day. They'll send you an email saying, you know, Shawn's going live for a mentoring session. Click this link to watch this session. And that's pretty much how it works. All right, so we have a pending trade here for Euro USD. It's currently at entry point. So if you guys want to enter market, you can enter right now if you'd like. Other than that, there were a couple sells here that I was looking at, GU and GJ, but it's just too risky for us to take right now. Same with AN over here. This was an entry here, but I decided not to call it because it is a risky trade. So anyways, going back to our trades from today. So I'll go back to our saved messages here. You guys can see that these are the profits that everyone took today. So Josh made 29 bucks off this US 30 sell. He also had a bunch of wins right here. So these are all of his trades for the week so far. So you guys can see his consistency, right? He has more wins than losses. And for the losses, he usually covers them with the wins. So other than that, Sisuk made 1,165 today. Congrats to you, Sisuk. Next up, Josh had another win for US 30 right there. Quinn over here, he had a profit of 531 for one of his accounts. Rick had 751 for one of his accounts as well. Quinn over here is 638. Just doing good off that. Nice. Mandra over here, he locked in 1,601. So you guys can see that a lot of people in K2 are still profiting trading on their own. Sisuk over here locked in another 1,000 off the other account. And other than that, these are from last night. Like Trell over here locked in a couple $100 with US 30. Tam locked in about 236. You know, there's a lot of wins that were happening all throughout the day. So that's about it for today, guys. If you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to reach out on Telegram or through email. Let me check my emails. Jeez, every time I go on my computer, I got like over 200 emails. So I got another 240 emails to get to today, which I will be looking through. Other than that, I think that's it. So the Fed is still speaking right now. There's no point in us entering any new trades because they're still talking. It's going to be too risky. So for now, from now until the time that they're done speaking, I will probably call some more scalps. But I mean, for the time being, there's just no point in us taking that unnecessary risk. So thanks for showing up, guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. And on your way out, if you guys can like the stream or dislike the stream, if you guys didn't like it here, feel free. But just remember, if you guys dislike the stream, YouTube will not show you my videos anymore. So if you don't want to copy my trades anymore, that's completely fine. But just keep that in mind if you guys are like messing around and like jokingly disliking the video, because they're not going to show you my videos anymore if that becomes the case. But yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. And I will see you guys in a couple hours if I do go live. Let me check my schedule, actually. Yeah, I'll have to check in with Karen. So we do have a session at 5 o'clock today, actually, 5 p.m. today. I'll be meeting with Karen and Jeremiah. So we'll see if they want to have it live. If not, then I'll catch you guys in the chat. So thanks for showing up, guys, and I'll see you guys.